to be engaged in at this point, being 17 years old. They would host parties at Dom's house because he had his own house. And there is an incident that has been coming up on social media. Before the crash, the police had already gone out to the house earlier that year in 2022 because at one of these parties, a girl falls down the stairs. And the police describe it as she almost died. We're gonna call her Kay, but side note, Davion was also there, and it's been reported that Davion was actually one of the only people that helped her before the medics came. A lot of
Holy shit.
people apparently just like ran off when she fell because there were clearly questionable activities going on in the house, potentially underage drinking, smoking weed. I think they were very concerned about not getting in trouble versus, worrying about their friend's life. The girl that fell, Kay, ends up in a medically induced coma for weeks. Like she genuinely almost died. It was not a hyperbolic way of speaking. It's not the police being like, she almost died, she's a teenager. No, she almost died.
What happened? Like what?
Nobody knows. So obviously Kay's parents don't believe the simple explanation of, oh, she just fell. Understandably so. Like, I would want very thorough answers too. It just doesn't make sense to them. In the FOIA file, there are Snapchat messages between Mackenzie and her friends talking about this fall and trying to piece together all of them. You don't really get a thorough story of what even happened, but you get that there were suspicions. One person who attended the party audio messages Mackenzie. Legit, what I was saying to people, so it seems like, if I had to get context clues, and this is just me guessing out of my butt, it seems like Mackenzie is confronting this girl of like, are you going around telling people that she didn't fall? Are you going around telling people that someone pushed her? Because she's explaining, right? This girl is like explaining to Kenzie, like, this is what I said.
Legit, what I was saying to people, because like they were even saying like was not that drunk, like how could have that happened, like she wasn't even that fucked, because she wasn't. And I said, I don't know, no alcohol was in her system. A lot of the police and her parents and a lot of the people are thinking that she got pushed, like there was foul play in it. And I said, if there was a possibility that there were girls there and they were drunk, I said I never thought that they like distinctively like pushed her. I said if anything were to have happened, it would have been maybe they were play fighting with each other and they got too rowdy and drunk, because that's how fucking girls get when they're fucking drunk. And I did see hella girls by the stairs and by the fucking door, and I had explained to people like if it was anything like that, it would have been they missed their step and accidentally pushed.
And it wasn't
accidentally pushed her on purpose.
Yeah, and it wasn't a full-on push. Accidentally hit her while she was about to go down
So,
the
like,
stairs.
yeah, they
she explains that
ran
Kay
into her
had
or
this like
something.
big bag of clothes she was carrying, and she states that she told people that she theorized that weighed her down, and that's what made her tumble down the stairs.
I never said that people were pushing her and had people push her. Like, no. That's what the police think, and that's why I'm trying to get the picture of the steps so I can literally tell them like it wasn't like, or like, I don't know, like my mom was like, they don't think she just did all that just from falling down the stairs.
Basically saying like, my mom doesn't think Kay has all these injuries from just falling down the stairs, right?
I was like, do you really think like people would like fucking beat Ken and we would just all like fucking cover that shit up? Like, I honestly think that's what they think is happening. So that's why I just need the picture of the stairs. I never said anyone pushed her. I said if it were to come to that and someone were to have, because all the signs are kind of pointing to that, because it was not fucking, she had been to your house, Dom's house before, and known those stairs at Halloween. Like, nothing could have like really pointed to her falling down the stairs except her missing her step, or someone accidentally like falling into her, accidentally tripping over her, accidentally catching her step. That's all I said.
But she literally said it could have been someone who pushed her, though.
Accidentally pushed her on purpose, yeah.
Okay.
In one audio message, Mackenzie is ranting to another friend, and I don't know if it's about this person, right? I'm just, again, piecing together these like random Snapchat data and trying to figure out what the hell is happening. And like, none of these are like really even in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she says, this is Mackenzie.
Tell me why I just got off the phone with fucking Sammy. And supposedly Emily did not even try to catch her. Emily ran away and threw up. That's what Sammy is saying. And Sammy was the one down there. So Emily is like a major fucking problem, like right now.
It's just weird. Like, if
You
she
don't
genuinely
say.
fell down the stairs without any sort of foul play involved, maybe this is how high schoolers act and they like to start drama, but this is such a
They do
serious thing.
definitely like to start drama.
It's just
Yeah.
very odd. Mackenzie eventually makes like an Instagram story, and I don't know what she's trying to do, if she's trying to clear the air, make the situation worse. I think more so the latter. But she says,
Just a PSA.
Oh, so that's what this was about. Oh. See, now we have context to this fucking video. I've watched this video. This video is in the crash. It's in the documentary. I've seen this video in other people's podcasts and stuff talking about this case, but like there's no context to it. It's just, oh, like this is the type of person she was. Yeah, and like throws this in there. There is no like this is what happened and then this is what Mackenzie did afterwards. So now this makes more sense. Doesn't necessarily mean that what happened it doesn't make what happened okay either at this party or what happened to Dom and Davion. However, it does really show what kind of person Mackenzie is.
If any of you think that that party situation is my fault, you can go fuck yourself and leave my story right now. Yeah. Because we let all you underage little fucks inside our beautiful home just to do illegal things. And you want to blame us? Aren't you all the ones that ran out of the house and left and shook her while we called the police and got her there? Was she... Yeah. Please go fuck yourself and kill yourself, bitch.
Whoa.
interestingly, later, Dom's mom, so Mackenzie's boyfriend's mom, who lives right next door, says about the
Fucking crazy.
situation
She supposedly pushed down the steps, right?
in reference to Mackenzie. Dom's mom describes the situation later to the officers, saying, so the big story was...
I'm so sorry. Was this talked about before the crash or after the crash?
After the crash. So it was, during the fall. I don't think Dom's mom got involved because Dom is 20, so this... And I don't know how it escalated. There's no reference to Dom's mom getting involved after the crash to report any of this. I don't think she really knew because, she's Dom's mom. No one's going to her telling her, oh, what's been happening with the kids recently. So I think what happened was after the crash, it seemed that Dom's mom did report to the police. A lot of Dom's friends were coming to her and telling her information about Mackenzie. Because they feel weird about the crash.
Got it.
So they're like, because your son is gone, that was our friend, we want to help. Here's this weird information we've been knowing, but we would have never told you that before the crash because we just thought it was relationship drama or weird stuff and we don't have proof.
Yeah.
And so she explains to the officers.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
when was the fall?
Early
when-
2022, January,
Okay, so same
and
year.
The crash happened.
July 31st, 2022. 6
so
months.
Seven
Okay.
months. Got it.
She says,
The big story was this girl fell down the steps, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, how did she fall? And blah, blah. She had no alcohol in her system. And there's a handrail. And then as time went on, Kenzie was the one that told me personally. She said that these girls were really out to get her because they are accusing her of pushing this gal down the steps. I said, well, why in the world would you ever push that girl? I wouldn't push that girl down the steps. Just didn't think of nothing at the time. But
Right.
Also, guys, do keep in mind that Dominic's mother is a lawyer. She's a defense lawyer, I think. I could be wrong on that, but I know she is a lawyer for sure. So she's got the brains and the investigative thinking that I'd assume you'd need to be a lawyer. Again, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But this whole 50 minutes already has just solidified to me my belief that Mackenzie 1000% did this. Why? I don't know. Maybe something will come up more, but the only thing I can think of is that Dom was going to break up with her. She was pissed about it. And it was a, if I can't have you, nobody can type situation. And so she just randomly decided on that stretch of road that she was going to go crash in that building. And that's why the passenger side of the car is so fucked up and why Dom died on impact. That is my thoughts right now after everything I've seen and up to this point in this video. Absolutely crazy and insane, and I just don't even know what to think right now. Like, what?
For the fact I'm sitting there thinking, and I had asked that Houston when he called me. I said, do you hear that she pushed this girl down the steps? Houston believes she pushed her down the steps.
So she's like, I don't know. She's just telling the police, like, this is what I heard. And like, Mackenzie also told me people were accusing her at the time of pushing the girl down the stairs. And then now I'm talking to one of Dom's friends who also thinks that she pushed her down the stairs. It's just weird.
How is
That's
the
super
friend
weird.
Okay.
I think she's okay.
Did she ever say what happened?
No. I do think that is a pretty crazy accusation to make, that Mackenzie would push another girl down the steps to the point of her almost dying. I think that it would really take a very specific personality for people to think that she's capable of such a thing. Because you can't just walk around and think, oh, anyone is capable of killing somebody and pushing them down the stairs to the point of like a medically induced coma. Like, you would have to be a very specific type of personality where people can look at you and think, I could see you doing that.
Yeah, and it's a very serious allegation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
Mackenzie seems to have gone through a lot of friend groups in high school, and the ones that she is no longer friends with, naturally, they don't have a lot of great things to say about her.
obviously.
A former friend of Mackenzie says, I know she smokes weed. I mean, that's literally her personality trait. That's it. That's about it. Just smoking weed.
Wow.
She will post TikToks responding to creators. So she'll like duet TikToks, Mackenzie will. And it'll say things like, how do you smoke but you can't roll? Meaning like you can't roll a blunt joint. And it's the song like, you is such a loser, right? And she'll duet it and show Dom as like, oh, well, I don't know how to roll because my boyfriend does it for me. That's the vibe. But I guess she gets inspired because she also uses the sound to do her own TikTok about weed. She is lip syncing the words, you is such a loser. And the caption is, when girls only hang out with me because they know I have weed. She really does love smoking weed. On her notes app on her phone, police found a birthday wish list, and amongst those was weed socks. So I guess like the socks with the little marijuana leaves on there. It's just not really fashion forward, but okay. Her TikTok handles were Baby Kush, Baby Cushy, weed references.
Cushy means weed?
I think Kush.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has another video where she's smiling and the caption reads, when everybody knows me not from popularity, but from my horrible reputation. So like she seems to get off on knowing that Strongsville kind of hates her. She has another TikTok where she's in a school library with other people and the words on the screen just read, most hated bitches of Strongsville. She seems proud. Now, side note,
That's not something to be proud
the
of.
suburbs outside of Cleveland, Ohio, which it seems like it's reminiscent of a lot of suburban areas in America, cookie cutter housing developments, chain restaurants, massive parking lots to accommodate every single fucking shopping plaza. The mall is probably the hangout spot. I grew up in the suburbs. I hated it, so I can see why Mackenzie doesn't fit in, and maybe she doesn't like it. She has a distinct style and a stronger personality, if you want to call it that. But she does protest about how much she hates Strongsville. She'll make TikToks like, I can't do school anymore. It's so stupid. And it makes me feel so dumb. And I want to go to New York or Florida. I just want to go somewhere with good food and good pics. Which is
To
like
take pictures? You mean?
yeah, I think it's a very interesting way to like figure out the next city you're gonna live in, like good food and good pics. But she herself also stirs shit up all the time. She's the type to send audio notes like this. I don't even know who she sent it to, but she sends an audio note.
And you need to get a facial every month. Your skin looking mad crusty and you have a pizza face. Like, literally, you're ugly as fuck. Get the fuck out of my comments, bitch.
Damn. So like a friend?
Yeah.
Maybe?
One person says, one of my friends said that they were in a group chat with her, and before school, she would call the group chat over and over and over and over and over again. So much so that you couldn't even open the group chat because you were just getting calls, like spammed. And it was because she didn't know what she wanted to wear to school. So she just spam calling everybody.
Dear sweet God, you poor baby, you don't know what to wear. Fucking put on a shirt and some pants and away you fucking go. Holy hell.
She's also just like a very confusing person. She likes to DM friends things like, every woman's body is beautiful. Like, I swear, every friend has seen a different version of Mackenzie. And I can see that through her DMs and text messages. To
Literally.
some friends, she presents herself as like this girl who loves people. And she just gets hated on TikTok because, you know, haters, right?
So she's
And then
two-faced
to
as
other
fuck.
people, she's like, you have a fucking pizza face. It's just shocking. Okay, so she's DMing a friend. Every woman's body is beautiful. Every woman is a fucking goddess. Men need to learn. Then in other DMs,
Yeah.
she's calling people fat bitches. In one text exchange, she tells Dom, the bitch in the Jeep was about to try to not let me go, and I almost got in a car accident in front of her. Dom responds, what a bitch. Mackenzie responds, I know she's fat, and I gave her a dirty ass look, and I'm driving slow as fuck in front of her. In another series of DMs, she's complaining about how
That's
she's
one way to
stressed
get
out
into a
at the
car
prospect
accident.
of not winning homecoming court best dressed superlative, okay? She rants, bro, if I don't win, I'm a freak. I don't think she wins because she gets a DM by the real winner's sister. And it seems like they all have some beef, okay? Because the little sister is like, you didn't win because your outfits are ugly. Oh, and I do think that this was a warranted thing because Mackenzie was going around posting the girl who actually won, and she's wearing like a flannel shirt, and she's writing really mean things like, I can't believe I lost to a bitch in a flannel. Like it was just mean. So I think the younger sister was warranted to, you know, you're young, you're like, you, I'm gonna stand up for my sister. Mackenzie responds, I'm so sorry, you're so insecure. I mean, if I was overweight, I would probably make fun of pretty skinny girls too. I mean, maybe you heard how crazy I am. Have your big sissy text me if she has a problem. The younger sister responds, you're anorexic, bitch. Shopping in the child section ain't cute. Mackenzie responds, maybe talk shit if you're gonna do something about it. We can have this convo in person if you want. To which she responds, I can snap your 5'2", 70-pound ass like a twig. Mackenzie responds, is that a threat? Maybe if you spent all the time eating, you would be happy on the inside. Now stop biting your older sister's problem, meatloaf. Have a nice day. To which the younger sister responds, your ass is flat, get well soon. Hope you end up in a hospital because your twig body got sucked away in the wind. Let me know, I could blow air on you and you would fly away. You're probably one of the ugliest people I've ever seen. Mackenzie responds, girl, I don't care, I'm not insecure. Being ugly is an illness, get well soon. Which, I mean, clearly they had problems with each other before
Holy
this because what the hell is going on, but
That's crazy. You had every single DM from her?
yeah, from a time
What?
period. It was
What's
2,000
going
pages
on?
of DMs. And it was just like a fucking trip the whole time. Yeah. And speaking of best dressed, a lot of netizens are just confused about the school's enforcement of their dress codes. If they even have one, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
One of her favorite looks to show up to school, high school, is she'll wear like tracksuits, Juicy Couture tracksuits, not the new ones because she obviously hates those as per her own TikTok, but the old ones. And she will have her tracksuit low-waisted, and then she'll be wearing like a string thong and then pull up the strings all the way up the sides, effectively giving herself a wedgie. I mean, I get it. It's a stylistic choice, but you're in high school. You're in high school. You're wearing it to school.
How do you know this?
Because she posts pictures at school of herself in the bathroom mirror. She'll post TikToks. She'll do like what I wore Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And all of them, I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, well, what's the dress code, right?
Yeah, what's the dress code? There is an incident where the school report, because we got multiple disciplinary reports from Mackenzie's school, and the school report reads, after being seen by a teacher in the bathroom taking selfies, Mackenzie was asked to zip up her hoodie, probably because of dress code, and go to class, to which she responded by calling the teacher a fucking bitch and a dumb bitch. So I guess there is a dress code, it just doesn't apply to Mackenzie. Neither does not being on your phone. Another school report reads, during
Holy
class,
fuck.
Mackenzie was seen playing a game on her phone. When the teacher asked her to get off her phone, Mackenzie told her she was playing a game with her mother. The teacher repeated herself a second time, and Mackenzie failed to comply. When the teacher told her to go to the administration office, Mackenzie went to the restroom and locked herself in the stall. It took several teachers to address the matter with her. In another incident, another teacher writes about Mackenzie. Many of the students and a couple of the teachers commented on her behavior and the need for administration to take action. I have been asking for help with her all year. I would like her removed from my room as I am no longer comfortable with being verbally attacked in front of students and being videotaped while it's happening.
The teacher?
Yeah. Some people describe Mackenzie as a wannabe Maddie from Euphoria, the TV show. There's one Instagram DM where they tell her, you're literally Maddie IRL. I aspire to have your energy one day.
Oh my God.
Mackenzie takes this.
Please do not have that energy. That is fucking 12-year-old drama-prone fucking energy. Do not have that energy. That is not energy you want. That's negativity, friend. The hell? Oy, Jesus Christ.
to heart. She's like, I'm Maddie IRL because she DMs Euphoria on Instagram and says, cast me, I'm that girl. She sends them a
Jesus
video,
Christ.
cast me. Like she says, so she's like, cast me, I'm that girl, sends a video, cast me. Then she starts just spamming photos at this point and says, season 3 ? And because I'm nosy, I just wanted to do a breakdown. She sends a video and then she proceeds to send 17 photos.
What kind of photo? Just
Holy
like
shit.
Insta pics?
Yeah, where she looks like Maddie from Euphoria, or thinks she looks like.
Who's Maddie? Just
Who's Maddie? I mean, she's pretty iconic, yeah, but I don't think Mackenzie is Maddie IRL, right? But I do feel for whatever intern was handling Euphoria socials, they deserve a week off, because what the fuck is that? She also is just messaging photos of herself to Vogue Runway, to Vogue, to Balenciaga. She's just a very confusing individual. She says she doesn't like to body shame, but then she will go ahead and do that if she doesn't like someone. She says she hates racism and will call people out publicly for being racist, which is a good thing. But she herself will use the N-word in text messages and also extensively make fun of Asian people. I just guess...
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Like what?
More on that later, but like she's got some crazy beef with TikTok and she's like, it's because it's run by them damn Asians. This is when it was ByteDance and not Oracle. I guess confusing is just not the correct word.
Wait,
it's like hypocritical,
Oracle?
right? For example, according to one school report, Mackenzie
Hold on.
allegedly
Good to know. Had no idea.
said to another student, if I was a slave owner, I would have killed, and then insert student name, who I'm assuming is black, based off of this allegation. Mackenzie denies ever saying that, but
What? Oh my god. Okay. Wow. We might, I was gonna do like a few of these videos in a day if I had the time to do them. But I think I might need to take a break here and there because holy shit. I haven't seen this video. I think I've mentioned that before. I have not seen this before now. So I didn't know any of this was coming. I didn't know what she was gonna say. Holy shit, bro. Wow.
at least 3 witnesses claim that they heard her say that. And on the topic of racism, another student reported that Mackenzie airdropped them. So like on their phone, they get an airdrop. And it's a meme of SpongeBob saying, I spy N-word with a hard R. Like I spy a N-word with a hard R. This is a black student. When asked about it, Mackenzie said, oh my gosh, no, I was airdropped the meme.
Wait, she's dropping it to
A black student.
That's crazy.
Yes.
What the
And so then
fuck,
she's like,
girl?
oh my God, no, I never airdropped it. Like, that's crazy.
What the hell?
I was airdropped that picture. But it just didn't seem to.
I'm also trying my best not to swear too much because I know it's not great and I swear a lot. And I'm either going to have to go and bleep them all out and I have to learn how to do that or just not say it in the first place.
Add up,
Yeah.
according to the school report, the meme was reportedly seen on the phone and directly attributed to Mackenzie. There are disciplinary reports from back in 2018 where Mackenzie got into a fight with another girl while she was walking to the buses. She gets into a fist fight. And another report in 2018 filed by the parent of another girl where they tell the police that they're scared that Mackenzie is going to beat up their child. The report reads, I spoke to my child who stated that while she was in 3rd period class, Mackenzie Sharilla called her a bitch and threatened to beat her up. She stated this was all over my daughter not giving Mackenzie a Dorito chip.
Oh my god. Are you actually serious? And people are still defending her? Bro, give me 5 good reasons why this girl did not do this to her boyfriend and friend. Give me 5 actual solid evidence pieces against all of this bad shit. Please. Please. I would love to see it. Holy crap. This girl is ridiculous. Oh my god. Anyway.
Also stated that Mackenzie posted on Instagram last year a picture of her showing her forehead. The caption that she had was a big forehead. So just like bullying, you know? And, you know, Mackenzie allegedly tried to repost that picture today. So when authorities talked to Mackenzie about it, of course, she's like, well, no, she's the one that threatened to beat me up when I asked for a Dorito chip. Which, like, doesn't even really make sense because it's
why
like,
would
hey, can I
anyone
have a
beat
Dorito
you
chip?
up?
I'm going to beat you up. Like, I don't, you would
Yeah.
just say, no, you're weird.
Yeah.
She also states that the picture on Instagram, someone took her phone and posted it. Of course, she would never do that because she's a girl's girl. It's hard to say that Mackenzie was ever universally well liked, if liked by many at all. She says online that she doesn't like anything designer, but in 2019, there's a report of her stealing a pair of earrings from Kohl's. She was ultimately
Oh
not
my God.
prosecuted because the earrings were not recovered and their value was less than $20. And also another thing about really liking designer, she doesn't really like designer. She likes DHgate, which nothing's wrong with dupes, but she just like is so up in arms and has this superiority complex because she has a Christian Dior bag, but I can literally see her in her DMs on Instagram sending people DHgate links to where she gets her stuff. So she's like, I hate brokies, but then it's like, you can't really say that when you're, I only wear designer, I hate brokies, but your bag is DHgate. And nothing is wrong with a DHgate bag, but it's also like kind of weird.
That's not designer.
Hypocrite, yeah.
Yes. A lot of things are hypocritical. She will smoke weed until she's apparently coughing up black stuff because she's essentially fast-tracking her lungs to an early demise. But she's also super, super anal about sticking to an organic, non-GMO, gluten-free diet.
Really?
And why is she? Is there a medical reason? She says, quote, in a DM to someone, it helps my spiritual journey. She says, to be honest, I love fruit. So that's probably my favorite meal. Just any fruit.
That
She
is
gets
not a
upset when
meal.
her friends eat her popcorn because she only likes natural, all organic popcorn. But also, some people, you know, they would call her Baby Kush because she literally smokes so much weed and posts about it all over social media. And then that was her TikTok handle. So what's going on? She also rants about restaurants. You think their seafood is freshly caught? Like, none of it was. I don't want no farm
How do you
fish.
know?
That's nasty as fuck. In another DM message, someone sent her a link to melatonin gummies, it seems like, to help her sleep. And Mackenzie responds, is it natural? They respond, yes, babes, our brains produce it naturally. This should be a case study that organic food consumption does not make one brighter than the rest. Let's just say if Mackenzie is going to have an anti-fan club, there are going to be people lined up around the block to be the president of that anti-fan club. And probably for good reason. She's just not really, objectively speaking, a great person, in my opinion. Am I telling you this in the
I agree.
context of the crash? Not necessarily, because legally it doesn't work like that. I mean, just because you're kind of a weird brat doesn't mean you're guilty of a crime. However, I do think that this is all contextual information that would be
Yes.
necessary to understand the case in its entirety
Yes.
and what people have been saying and why they've been saying certain things.
I agree.
After extensively researching, I can try to group up the 3 major groups of people and how they feel about this case. The first group of people, they obviously believe that whatever happened that night in the car, they believe it was an accident. Now, this is like the smallest of the people from what I could see anecdotally, just like surfing on Reddit, but I'm not a freaking AI data analyst, okay? I don't know. But it just seems like a smaller group of people that believe that it must have been an accident. Because it doesn't make sense, you know? They think that maybe Mackenzie suffered a medical emergency, passed out on the wheel, causing this accident. Or maybe it's like a car malfunction, and even though
Okay, but this is the thing is, again, I'm not a doctor. I don't fucking understand how the body works, but I'm pretty sure when you pass out, your muscles relax. Your muscles don't go rigid or rigid enough that you'd be still pushing an accelerator pedal all the way down. I don't think that happened. Again, I'm not a doctor. And I could Google it, but I'm sure people would argue that Google's not a doctor either. So it is what it is. But I know that she's just saying that's what that group of people believe. But like you can't, if you pass out, you're limp. Your muscles aren't rigid. So how would if anything, you'd pass out, the car would slow down, and you would then, Dom or Davion would have been able to steer the car and get out, or like move her over and one of them drive home or something. Like, this would not have happened, because like a lot of things that people are saying too is, why didn't Dom or Davion try to knock Mackenzie out so that, she'd pass out, so that her muscles would relax, so she'd stop accelerating, so that they could save their lives, So like, it's very hard for me to believe that it was a medical emergency of any sort. Again, though, I'm not a doctor, so what the fuck do I know? Just seems highly unlikely.
the police ruled it out, you never know. The larger masses, however, believe it was planned. Now, to what degree is up for debate. So the second group of people believe that Mackenzie planned this crash days in advance, that she was going to crash the car with Dom in it and Davion just happened to be in the car.
She
and
was
she
there
has
3
no
days before.
regard for anybody's life but her own. A few days before she turned 18, like that, people are saying it's intentional. She allegedly, they claim, scoped out the crash site. Now, there is evidence that she was on that road previously, but people have interpreted that differently. Some people are saying like this was a known cut through. Other people are saying like, no, she was scoping out the crash site. So take it as you will. But they believe that she drove down the same road multiple times beforehand. She planned it to the T because she knew Dom.
Okay, but if you actually look at where they were going from the house to where, like, their destination to Dom's house, it is not a cut through. It is not faster. If it's a cut through in the sense of not getting caught by cops, okay, maybe. But like her dad claims that she went through that road many times because Dom made her, because he had drugs on him because he was a drug dealer, but he would give the drugs to Mackenzie so that he couldn't get in trouble, but Mackenzie wouldn't get in trouble either, or wouldn't get in as much trouble because she was 17 or some shit. I don't understand that. Maybe in a future episode Rotten Mango will get into it, or maybe I can look it up later. But these are things I've heard and just things that I'm thinking of as I'm hearing what she's talking about.
Mom was going to break up with her soon, and Davion just happened to be in the car. Now, the third group of people
Do
think...
they believe Mackenzie is planning to be alive after the crash, or...
I think there's subgroups of people. Some people think that she might not have had that foresight. Some people think like she probably does, because if evidenced by her social media of posting her driving and smoking, there are certain teenagers who live very reckless lifestyles and who believe that they are almost like physically invincible. Other people believe that she just like is such an emotionally volatile, evil person that she doesn't even care about her own safety.
Okay.
But there's lots of nuanced debates that we're going to get into later, because her head was found under the dash. So some people are saying, oh, that's like evidence that she could have fainted before the crash. Some people are saying like that could have happened just because the airbags are deploying. Other people are saying she intentionally did it so that her face wouldn't get busted from the airbags, and she's a narcissist. So it's all... just everyone has their own opinion about it. The third group of people, they don't necessarily think that Mackenzie has been planning this days in advance, but they do think that there was intent. They do think that this is murder, because whatever happened in the car, most likely, they believe, is an argument that broke out between Mackenzie and Dom. And still, Mackenzie has no regard for Dom, or especially Davion's life, because he's just in the back seat. She crashes the car in rage, and that is still intentional murder. So these are like the three main groups that I've seen. Obviously, the legal outcome of this case supports the second and third theory that this was intentional murder, which there is intent behind the crash, which is why a lot of people have taken to trying to analyze Mackenzie and Dom's relationship, as it all feels highly relevant. Whatever happened in the car, most people believe it's either because Mackenzie didn't want Dom to break up with her soon, or because she got enraged during a fight in the car and was ready to kill him for it. One friend says, Dom provided everything for Mackenzie. Mackenzie didn't work a job. Mackenzie would live with Dom. Dom would provide for her, like, with everything. Dom would buy her groceries. Dom would buy her clothes. Anything that Mackenzie needed, Dom gets it for her. So they had this relationship where it's like they were just ready to move on and marry. So they felt like, you know, it was very serious, but Dom was like the provider. He would even be expected to provide for Mackenzie's weed consumption. She would make literal demands. There are text messages between the two where she says, maybe if you listened for 1 second, enclosed. By the way, she writes enclosed, like an enclosure, like a cage.
Listen,
Instead of
enclosed.
and closed.
Instead of closed. Like she's trying to say enclosed your mouth, but she's saying enclosed, like an enclosure. Yeah.
Oh, just listen and close your mouth.
Yeah, but she said enclosed.
Close your mouth.
She's like, maybe if you listen for a second and closed your fucking mouth, you would hear what I was saying, but you just don't fucking stop going. I'm so fucking fed up with this shit. I'm giving you one more chance to give me weed, or there's gonna be I'm gonna do a whole separate video, part 4 of this series. We're just gonna go down pretty much every fight that they've had through text messages, because it is a 31,000 page document with over...
Oh my God. How is this girl this bad? Like, what did your parents teach you? I am not a parent, but god damn. Oh my god. Like, what? You're getting mad at your fucking boyfriend for not giving you weed. You're 17 years old and or younger depending on when this happened. You shouldn't be smoking fucking weed, child. Oh, I'm getting so angry. Okay. I'm okay. Everything's fine. We're gonna definitely need to take breaks in between videos because holy fuck. Holy helly. Oh. I'm gonna have to find a code word for something so I don't swear so much because this is gonna make me swear. It's gonna make me swear. Holy guacamole, Winifred.
90,000 text messages that are highly relevant to
That's
this
a
case.
lot of
So that's going to
text
be in
messages.
part 4. So like a few episodes later, it's just literally just going to be analyzing the full text document and the journey of their relationship, because there's a lot that happens through 2020 through 2022. There's text messages days leading up to the crash and all of the fights that are happening, because there's a lot of explosive fights, and you can really see Mackenzie's, I don't even want to it almost feels abusive. Like you'll see a lot of things in that episode, but that's going to be in part 4.
Wow.
Text messages from almost exactly a year before the crash. Mackenzie tells Dom, maybe when you can actually formulate a sentence yourself and not just repeat what I said last, I'll take this fucking conversation seriously. To which Dom responds, WTF? See, I don't say anything mean. You just purposely try to say hurtful things. You say that I'm not going on vacation with you. You say you're not going to do anything for me anymore. Like, what? You said you were going to break up with me too. Like, that's all verbally abusive.
Yeah.
When you want to fix this on both ends, let me know. Mackenzie responds, I'm allowed to say how I feel, and if you don't like that, then that sucks. Why would I want to go on vacation with someone that won't even give me 1 gram of free weed? So this is literally just her getting mad that he's not giving her weed. He tells her he does give her weed, like free weed all the time, right? He's like, what do you always demand weed from me? I'm giving it to you. Like, what do you, she just responds, too bad, because I don't want your whack ass weed anymore. I never want it again. He's like, so we're done over that? Is there someone else? Like, you literally got me thinking about quitting weed. And she blames everything on Dom. Now, a lot of people.
Okay, girl, you should want to quit weed because it's terrible for your body. And at 17 years old, you shouldn't be smoking it anyway. You're gonna quit weed because your boyfriend won't give you some even though he does? Huh? Oh my god. Oh my god. This girl. Holy guacamole. That's what I'm gonna say. And instead of saying, what the fuck, I'm just gonna say, the fuck? Because, maybe that can get my emotions and my reactions out well enough for you without me getting in trouble for swearing too much.
People might take this
Holy
as
crap.
the truth, but I will say consistently over 30,000 something pages, this is like a pattern of Mackenzie. Anything wrong happens in her life, she blames somebody. So she says,
Of course.
how are you going to get me addicted to weed and then not give me weed when I need it? Like, the fuck? So fed up with your shit. I personally don't think that Dom got her addicted to weed. I think that, I mean, they're all teenagers. I think that she would have discovered weed regardless of Dom.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's the one that introduced it to her or if they both started at the same time. Like, she just likes to blame everyone for all of her problems.
Oh
To which
my
Dom
God.
responds, Kenzie, I try to tell you not to rip bongs at 6 in the morning, but you do it every day. And she responds, that's not the problem, hun. I give you free weed. That doesn't mean you can smoke as much as you want, Kenzie. You smoke like a chimney, and you're being mean as fuck to me right now. Even when he's trying to be level-headed and worried for her health, she's just kind of freaking out on him. She just kind of expects him to do everything for her, even emotionally be there for her no matter what she's feeling. And Mackenzie feels a lot of things seemingly all the freaking time. When Dom is going on a flight to California, he texts Mackenzie that it's really annoying because he's in the middle seat. Quote, I'm in between 2 people. I don't know. She responds, WTF? Yeah, right? So he's thinking, oh my gosh, like, she's feeling bad for me. I'm gonna need to know if it's a girl. He reassures her it probably won't be anyone to worry about. I haven't seen anyone that is attractive at all. Just mostly weird looking people. One person who knows the couple says none of Dom's exes would even keep in contact with him because they all knew Mackenzie was kind of crazy. She's
Kind of?
a little bit. But it seems
A
like
little
he's
bit?
just expected to do everything, even pay for her. In text messages, they're discussing a potential trip to New York City. Dom is asking her, can you afford it? Which is like a completely normal question to ask because New York City is one of the most expensive cities in the US to visit, so it's a completely valid question. Mackenzie freaks out. Actually, maybe I don't want to go with you if you're going to be like that. I'm not going on vacation with you, so I'm done talking about this. Why are you literally being crazy right now? To which Dom responds, Kenzie, you're being crazy.
Yeah.
She responds, Dom, I'm filling out a fucking job application while you're spamming me. Dom is just so taken aback.
Jesus.
He's like, you're trying to make me feel obligated to spend thousands on you. She responds in caps, then don't, question mark. Which, side note about her filling out a job application, Mackenzie was fired from multiple jobs. Those who worked with her said that she was just like a shit employee. For Dunkin'
Yeah, I
Donuts,
bet.
she had just gotten her hair done the day, I think, of coming into her shift. So the manager tells her, hey, you know, it's like part of the uniform. You have to wear the Dunkin' hat because everybody wears the Dunkin' hat. And like you work for Dunkin', so you gotta wear the Dunkin' hat. And she is so offended by this. She's sending like voice notes to her friends and she's like, can you believe that they told me to wear the hat? And I was trying to explain to them, I just got my hair done, so I can't wear the hat.
Oh, no.
And the manager was telling her, you can't expect us to let you have special privileges and treat you differently from any of the other employees. Like, you have
Exactly.
to wear the hat. Mackenzie quits on the spot, leaves a horrible review for the Dunkin' Donuts location. It's very interesting that she genuinely does not comprehend why it's inappropriate for her to be treated differently than other employees. The concept befuddles her. To her, it's just like, what's the big deal about a hat?
I have so many words. This girl is so self-centered. Okay, so I'm in a Hufflepuff uniform that I made. We've been talking about Harry Potter and what houses people are in and stuff like this, and I have several people tell me that they've done the test and they got Slytherin. Mackenzie is the type of person I see belonging in Slytherin, which is why I tell everybody that tells me that they're part of Slytherin that there is zero way that they are in that house, because to me, personally, okay, nobody come at me, this is my opinion. What Mackenzie does is self-preservation. And that is one of the things that is a trait of somebody in Slytherin, is self-preservation. Okay, I know that the books and the movies kind of make Gryffindor and Slytherin like mortal enemies, and that you feel bad for the people in Gryffindor like Harry, Hermione, and Ron, and that you know, end up disliking Snape and Malfoy and anyone that's in Slytherin because they're assholes to other people, especially in Gryffindor. You don't really see much interaction between Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff, or Hufflepuff and Gryffindor, or Gryffindor and Ravenclaw, like, you know what I mean? I know this is random and seems like it's off topic, but to me, Mackenzie is the type of person that belongs in Slytherin. She is self-preservation. What she does is self-preservation. That is self-preservation, my friends. Wanting to keep your friends and stuff safe is not self-preservation. Self-preservation is preserving oneself, you and you alone. That's what Mackenzie seems like to me, which is why I feel like Slytherin is not a house that anybody I know belongs in, unless I really don't know the people I think I know, which is possible. But holy guacamole, Batman. Anyway, holy moly. You got your hair done so you can't wear a hat? Girl, put the fucking hat on. Put it on your head, and work your goddamn shift. Holy crap.
Which, like, sure, maybe if it was one time, but she strikes me as the person to have a new reason every single time. Today it's the hat. Tomorrow it's the, oh, I can't help you clean something because I just got my nails done. Like, it's always something. One peer.
Wearing hat at a fast food restaurant
Yeah.
it's health code. What do you mean?
So one peer tells officers later, I mean, she worked with my stepsister at Dunkin' Donuts for a little bit. That's all I know. And then my stepsister told me that she was a terrible worker. She was just rude to everyone. She just didn't care. She'll post on her Instagram stories a picture of a bag that's for sale, a purse. And then she'll DM Dom, this is a new bag. It's silver. He's confused.
What?
He's like, why are you posting it on your Instagram story? Just in case someone wants to buy or send it to me, LOL, okay. Babe, only $400. She
Only?
also sends him a link to Venus flowers, the forever flowers. And then she sends another link to a pair of boots that are $3,500. It's like $3,400 for a pair of boots. Dom responds, those are so gas. She responds, I want them. He's trying to be reasonable. The price tag on them is crazy though. Do you think you can walk in them? Mackenzie ignores and DMs him, post a pic of us on IG? Yes. What picture? You pick. I'll see what I got. She texts him another time. I'm at Nordstrom's. If I see a Skims dress, can I buy it? But like, maybe the relationship is not always all the time one-sided. Maybe Mackenzie does a lot of things for Dom too. In one text message exchange, Mackenzie texts Dom, I'm bringing home sushi and calamari for you. Dom says, bet. Mackenzie responds, I got sushi from this place and they literally gave me the most gross shit ever. To which Dom is confused and he's texting her back, what place? And what sushi are you bringing me? It isn't gonna be gross, right? Mackenzie responds, babe, I don't know what to wear tomorrow. So it
What?
feels like
Okay. So the first part of that text message, you think, oh my God, she's so sweet. She's bringing home food for him. No, she's bringing home what she didn't want to eat because she thought it was fucking gross. Oh my God. I'm sorry I'm swearing, but like, who is this person? Oh, yeah, fuck. Holy crap.
she's bringing him gross shit, like the leftovers. Even
my
prom, Mackenzie says that she got a super custom, very expensive dress that Dom paid half of the entire dress. He even rented a party bus just for the two of them because everybody hates Mackenzie at school, so she had no friends to join her party bus. And there's videos of the two of them in the party bus alone, and it looks like Dom is doing everything to make sure Mackenzie is having a good time. He's singing for her, he's trying to make her laugh, he's trying to uplift her mood. Mackenzie says, everybody told us we looked like movie stars that night. And if Dom ever hangs out with the boys without Mackenzie, there's many a times where she gets so upset by that. She'll have these very smart Instagram DMs. Have fun with a dick in your ass. Bro time. Like, if you think I give a single fuck about Blair, so Blair is Dom's best guy friend, okay?
Okay.
There was because Blair keeps coming up, there was this misconception on TikTok that Blair was a girl that Dom was cheating on Mackenzie with. This is not true at all. Like, Blair is a guy, right? And there is no indication that they were having any sort of romantic relationship, right? So just clearing the air on that. But she's saying, if you think I give a single fuck about Blair, you're wrong. It's okay though. Just deal with your super important bro time. Like, are you actually fucking Blair? Do you want me to pull up to your fucking house right now with a fucking bat? Like, fucking beat Blair's ass? Then he'll really be scared to come around. So be careful with who you choose first. Again, there's no indication whatsoever that Dom and Blair are romantically involved. Even though Mackenzie's overreaction of a message almost seems like something.
Oh my God, this girl needs some serious therapy or something. Holy crap. You're getting mad at your boyfriend for having time with his best guy friend, and there's no evidence of any romantic anything, and even if there was, who cares? I mean, obviously, if he's dating Mackenzie, that's not okay. I just mean, like, in general. But, like, oh, wow. I am having a hard time getting through this video. Like, holy, wow. She's so entitled. She's so spoiled. She gets whatever the hell she wants. And that is infuriating. Okay, anyway,
Is
continuing.
happening. No, she's just upset because he wants to hang out with his best friend. To which Dom tries to calm Mackenzie down. I'm not choosing him first. Mackenzie, ever so calm, ever the voice of reason, responds,
Of course.
because I will fucking kill him. On God. This is all because he makes plans with Blair, but Mackenzie wanted him to cancel those plans because she suddenly decided she wanted to go out to eat with Dom. So Dom reaches a compromise that he doesn't even need to compromise on, but he offers, if you want to go out to eat, we can go in an hour. It's pretty simple. He's like, I'm not just going to cancel on Blair, but like, we can go out to eat in an hour. Mackenzie responds, you're literally pathetic. His dick must be big if you like it that much. I'll just go with someone else who actually wants to be around me and cares about my health. Thanks for literally doing nothing. She's saying health because eating,
is health.
But it's like, many of
What?
Dom's friends have reported that they don't really understand why Dom put up with Mackenzie.
Yeah,
They all
why?
thought that he could do way better with one of Dom's friends reporting to the police. One time we were in this candy shop, and this was after they had gotten over arguing and everything like that. And she was like, either buy me something or shut the fuck up. No one's trying to listen to you. He says Dom would always buy her designer, and she would always post on her TikTok as if she bought the designer, and she would call people out for like being broke. Side note, that seems to check out because in an Instagram DM exchange, Mackenzie is arguing with another person and Mackenzie is telling them, mind your business. And they come back responding. And so this doesn't seem like an internet hater. It seems like someone who knows Mackenzie in real life. And they're responding, I'm just saying it isn't your money if you don't earn it yourself. I'm not trying to start shit. I'm just so confused on how you talk shit on people being broke, but you flex money that isn't yours and you didn't earn. For real, not trying to start shit, so you don't even gotta respond. Sorry, I was just confused and then realized you probably would take it the wrong way, so I deleted it. Sorry, LOL. Like, you can't say you're not broke if it's not your money. That's all I'm trying to get, and everyone agrees with me. Like, ask anyone who is real with you and honest will agree with me. And yeah, you're spoiled, and that's fine. Just don't go around calling other bitches broke when you don't even have your own money yourself. Please be more self-aware. And you say you hate fake friends, but every time I've been with you or hear about you, you're talking shit about someone. It's just not a good look. Mackenzie responds something along the lines of like, yeah, go work your Subway shift. Baby, you work at Subway. You're not even close to being in my league. I need you to stop texting me right now. They stop texting her, so she hits them back with, so that comment hit close to home for you, huh? And they respond, what comment, bro? All I'm trying to get at is reality. If you do not earn the money you spend, it's not your money. So don't go around saying you hate broke bitches when in reality, if Dom or your parents left, you would be broke too. You depend on other people for money. And the fact that you say you hate fake friends, but 80% of the stuff that comes out of your mouth is talking shit about someone else. If you don't want fake friends, don't be fake yourself is all I'm trying to get at.
Thank you.
Mackenzie never has a moment of self-reflection. Because sometimes like, you can get into fights, but still have a moment of like, maybe they're onto something. Maybe I should reflect. But she says, it's okay, babe. I would probably be mad if I was broke too. And she says, baby girl, I need you to stop texting me. You're actually weirding me out. Like, we aren't friends and haven't been friends since sophomore year. Now stop being worried about my life and go worry about your schedule for Subway next week. She's just kind of a bitch. I don't really know how else to put it. After this whole exchange, it appears Mackenzie goes to rant to another friend about it because she's DMing her friend about, quote unquote, the haters. And the friend responds to her, trying to comfort her. Ugly girls will never understand. If you're pretty, you're never broke. So what if your boyfriend pays for you? If I was her boyfriend, I wouldn't pay for shit because damn, what the fuck is that? Talking about how the way that person looks. Mackenzie continues literally, and she's trying to like talk shit on me like it's repulsive. Do you know how badly I wanted to say worry about your own weight instead of my pockets, but I didn't want to body shame just in case I'm gonna be famous soon and I can't be canceled. Ha 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 ha.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Do you know when this was sent?
Like a few months before the crash.
Well, she did become famous.
Yeah. Mackenzie is also the type of girl that absolutely hates when people copy her, or even when she thinks people are copying her, and she needs Dom to comfort her for the very big emotions that come with people copying.
Girl, it's not that deep, okay? People are gonna do a trend that you probably did so you could get famous. Stuff is gonna happen like that.
She says, Redacted got the same wheel cover as me. Like, you know, the fucking pink fuzzy wheel cover?
Steering wheel cover?
Yeah.
Mackenzie, sweet God, no.
So fucking weird. Like, what the fuck? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Dom is like, do you think she knew? She def knew. How did you even find out? Even Chloe told me. I accidentally parked next to her, LMAO. Like, what the fuck? Dom is like, she's probably gonna be terrified. Because, again, that's how terrifying Mackenzie is. Just the fact that she found out that you have the same steering wheel cover, and she's going to be terrified that she found out. At some point, I don't know if it's the same girl or another girl, but Mackenzie is telling Dom that she wants to beat her up, to which he tells her not to get in trouble. That's all he says. He's like, maybe not, because you're going to get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. And she's upset. No, you were actually weird as fuck and do not talk to me. Dom's trying to explain, I just don't want you to get in trouble. He's like the voice of reason. But Mackenzie isn't having it. She feels like Dom worrying about her getting in trouble is, quote, let's not defend a fucking whore. You're actually weird as fuck. And you can go fuck her if you want to defend her, because I don't need nobody. I'm not defending her. It's weird as fuck. I mean, sure, she stalks you. Why are you going overboard on me? I just don't want you to get in trouble, and I don't want you super worked up over that. Like, she's obviously just super salty or jealous of you or something. Anyway, it seems like at this point he's just trying to make her feel better. And she's like, and you obviously got something on your mind with them long pauses. We're just going to break up if I have to fight for you. What? Babe, I have no interest in her. I don't know why the bitch stalks you. Well, you low-key just defended her earlier, so are you sure about that? I didn't defend her. I just didn't think you needed to fight her. A lot of conversations seem to end with Dom being the
Holy
voice of
shit.
reason and yet giving up near the end of the conversation because Mackenzie will not see anything from any perspective that is not her own. Mackenzie is,
Yep,
in my
sounds about
opinion,
right.
about as agreeable as a fucking nuclear weapon. She starts messaging Dom on Instagram in the midst of a fight. If I fucking call you, you have 3 goddamn seconds to answer unless you're actually busy, which most of the time you're not. She continues to go off on him. You are literally a fucking idiot. You're about to lose the best thing that ever happened to you, and you're never gonna find anything better than some other cracked out bitch who just likes taking dick in her ass. You have until the end of day to actually fucking fix this, and I'm not telling you how. And if you don't fix it, then I'm moving on with my life, and I don't need you to be happy. You have 5 seconds to say yes or no, or I'm blocking you and moving on. 5, 4, 3. She's
Oh
like
my
sending separate
God.
messages. 5, 4. She loves her countdowns. 5, 4, 3, 2. Dom finally responds. Let me type. Damn. Mackenzie responds in all caps. I don't care. I'm so done with you. Type? Are you slow? Like, goddamn. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. So slow. It's going to be so hard to come back from this one, especially since you like to lie and fake apologize just to get your way. Literally a little boy. Like, I thought you were a man. Clearly not.
Holy fuck. Who's clearly not an adult here? Child. Duh. Seriously. Get over your goddamn self. Holy hell. Oh. Yep, this video has completely solidified my she did this with intent theory. There is zero way this girl did not try to kill her boyfriend. There is zero way that crash didn't happen without intent. There's zero way she doesn't fucking remember what happened. There's no way. There is no way. That is my opinion. Literally, I can't imagine how. Maybe she actually doesn't remember, but if this is the type of human she is,
Dom is clearly confused. 'Cause,
yeah,
like, he doesn't
I
know
would
what's
be.
happening. He's like, because I
She's
didn't
crazy.
answer the phone. Like, I feel like you can't believe that I don't have any bad intentions. I fought for you so hard this past year. Are you for real? Like, I know you didn't type that in the 5 seconds I gave you. Like, that's what you say? Are you for real? N-word. You have 2 seconds to send that text. It better be good. Slow ass N-word. Like, holy. Dom finally responds. You're flustering the shit out of me. It's hard to read all your messages and then send mine within 5 seconds. Like, damn.
Yeah, you can't
I
expect.
don't care at all.
If you don't care, then break up with him and move on with your life and go poison somebody else's. Holy goddamn, girl. Holy shit. Yeah, how is he supposed to respond in 5 minutes or 5 seconds when you're spamming him? Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a minute because it's making me so angry. Like, it's infuriating seeing somebody talk to their significant other like this. She probably talks to her parents like this.
Like, you're crazy for thinking I have bad intentions. Mackenzie responds in an almost unintentionally ironic way. In caps. You literally suck and just bring me down. I don't know. Like,
So she's blowing up just that he didn't answer his phone right away?
in 3 seconds. Yeah. Like, she's blowing up for, honestly, like, nothing ever. It could be anything.
Yeah,
This
she's
is through
getting mad
Instagram
about
DMs,
literally
so this
nothing.
he wasn't responding through text in the way that she wanted. So then now she's come to Instagram DMs and she's just like ranting. And usually, like, it takes a minute because they don't really give context to the fight, obviously, because they're texting each other. But then once you figure out what the fight is about, it's like absolutely over nothing. And so Dom is responding, I do everything for you. I ask for nothing. You bring me down. You don't let me chase any of my dreams. You always say that you come first. Mackenzie doesn't respond to any of the things that Dom is saying. She says, I'm gonna give you till the end of the day to apologize and figure out what you did. If you don't actually make this up to me by the end of today and make it good and make me actually believe you, then we are done and I'm moving on with my life. Kenzie, it's not me. I'm sorry, but it's not me anymore. You're doing this. You're making us break up. Yes, I know I'm doing this because I have standards unlike you.
Oh my god.
Now, this is your last chance because I will move on. If you think you're going to be anything without me, you are a
So then
joke.
you should
I would
have
answer
moved
now.
on.
Kenzie, I'm not afraid of any of that anymore. Like, I'm all or nothing. I love you, but I don't have to be with you if you're going to try to do this to me.
Good.
Once
Fucking
again,
tell her,
she
Dominic.
ignores him and writes back. Or else you're going to get blocked and I'm going to start texting people. Kenzie, you can be with me or go. Is that your answer? So you're just not going to make this up to me by the end of the night? I don't even know what I'm making up. This is ridiculous. Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? I would answer. Is that what you're saying? You have until 6 o'clock or you're blocked and we're done forever. I will literally burn that fucking scrapbook, 0 fucks given. I love you, but I'm not doing this. This is crazy. I don't get it.
Yeah, dude.
Wow, okay, we're done. Last chance.
Okay, good.
I've given you over 3 chances today. This is your last chance to make things right and make it up to me by 6. Answer now. 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 Dom is so genuinely confused by this. He asks her, did all my messages send? He's thinking maybe she's not getting his messages and that's why she's ignoring him and just freaking out unreasonably. Mackenzie confirms, yes or no, I don't give a fuck about your messages. Kenzie, I don't know what I'm making up. Probably don't mean shit anyway. I don't care because you're dumb as fuck. You have until 6. I'm not telling you how to fix anything. You're saying I talked bad to you? Is that what I'm making up? Yes or no? Okay, you have until 5 now. Kenzie, yeah, I'll make up whatever, but I don't think any of this is really necessary. Are you serious? Like, I know you didn't just say that. How fucking dumb can you be? This is a very small argument and you're putting our relationship over it. I don't get it. She later quotes him and says, because he said something along the lines of like, I don't think. She quotes, I don't think. And she says, yeah, this is not about what you think. You're literally dumb as fuck. I feel so bad. How the fuck are you not getting that it's more than that and more than this? You lie, ignore, gaslight, dry reply. I can keep going. So she like throws out these words, but I don't.
Dominic, why did you put up with this crazy ass human being? Girl, the first random blow up at me for literally fucking nothing, that would have been it. Like, what the hell? And you're saying that he's mean to you? Look at what you're doing just in this one fight about God knows what. Holy goddamn. Please, if anyone watching this ever gets in a relationship with somebody like this, please, the first sign of this, be done. 'Cause holy goddamn, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but like, he doesn't even know what he did. She won't tell him what he did, and she's claiming she won't tell him how to fix it either. And it's like, how is he supposed to fix it if he doesn't know what happened? If he doesn't know what he supposedly did? Like, girl, this is not proper communication. And a relationship cannot thrive without proper communication. If you're not gonna tell him what he did, he can't fix it. Wow. Ooh, this girl. Holy.
Find evidence of any like gaslight.
Sorry. There's one other thing that I want to add here is that her dad, okay, her dad says they were never breaking up. Anyone says that they were gonna break up is wrong. Like, they loved each other so much, they were gonna get married, blah 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 blah. And it's like, really? 'Cause that's not what it looks like to me. Just seeing how she's interacting with him right now, I know that they're in a fight, she's mad about something, but like, wow.
Writing in the text messages and stuff. If anything, it's like miscommunication. I really
Yeah.
don't. I would watch her reply. I might dry reply sometimes. 4. So it went from 6 to 5 to 4. She's like, you gotta make it up to me by 4 p.m. now. If this isn't made up to me by 4 o'clock, we're done. This is my last text message. He's like, I don't gaslight. I don't do any of that. I never intentionally ignore you. 4:30. Dom responds, this can't be every week, babe. Indicating that this happens every week. And after reading all their text messages, it's like multiple times a week, actually.
Yeah, it's
really bad.
ridiculous.
She responds, you're right. Next time you do this, we're done. No explanations. He's trying to get it through to her. Like, I feel like you don't feel I love you. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, Kenzie, this shouldn't end our relationship. All I'm saying is like, I'll do whatever to make you happy, but I feel like you're being unreasonable today because of your stress over your toe and your nose and school. So like, I don't know what happened. This is me saying this. Like, I don't know what happened, but like, these seem like non-problems. Your toe,
Yeah.
your nose. Like, unless you broke your nose. Like, why is she freaking out on it? It's so weird. If this isn't made up correctly by 4 o'clock, I'm blocking you and we are done forever. Your attitude will change. Your attitude needs to change, babe.
Yeah.
We're broken up until you decide what you're gonna do to fix this. If the timer hits 4 o'clock and nothing has happened, we are done. Your attitude needs to change and I'll change whatever. I know you didn't just say that. This is about you.
No,
You.
darling, this is about
You
you.
called me with a bad attitude first, babe. Do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Because that could happen too.
Do it.
And then Mackenzie mass texts him, do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Do you want me to break up with you
Oh
for
my
good right now? She sends that
God.
4 times. I'm not repeating it for emphasis. She literally sends the exact same message 4 times. And he tells her, you're being childish. I'm not entertaining
Thank
it.
you.
So we're done?
Good.
Is that what you're saying? You're not going to make this
Yes.
up to me by 4 o'clock? We're just
Yep.
going to go through the cycle?
100%.
If you do not answer the fucking question, you are blocked and I'm going to start texting new people. Like, I'm so serious. Clearly, you don't even want a girlfriend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dom responds, why are you doing this? Like, I don't get it. I mean, we can make it 3. Like, this isn't love.
Exactly.
If this is made up to me by 3 o'clock, if it's not, we're done. This isn't healthy. This isn't
Thank
right. Like,
you.
we can make it so much better than this.
Yeah.
You're right. We can make it so much better after you make it up to me at 3 o'clock and prove you're going to do better.
Make up
Until then,
what
we are
to
broken
him
up. I would
or
watch
to
what you
you?
say from this point on, because one thing that I said wrong will result in instant blocking, and I will literally start talking.
So if you were actually gonna block him, Mackenzie, you would have fucking done it long before and stopped giving him chances. Block him. Hit the button. If you're really gonna do it, you're not gonna do it because you haven't done it yet. You keep giving him more and less time to make up whatever the hell it is he needs to make up without telling him what he needs to make up or how to make it up to you. And he's being like, okay, break up with me then. Like, you clearly don't love me. You clearly don't care about me. Like, this is not what love is. Hello? Oh my God.
to new people. Dom doesn't respond for an hour before Mackenzie DMs him again. I'm gonna take this as you're not making this up to me. Answer right now. Answer right now. Kenzie, if you want to be in my life, you will be. If
Yep.
you want to leave, I'm not stopping you.
Yep.
So you're not going to change your attitude and make it up to me? So you're not going to make it up to me? Yes or no? Kenzie, you have a bad attitude too. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. And this is about you, not me. Kenzie, no, this is about you and you're making it about me. You have a bad attitude, babe. You called me with a bad attitude first and I'm not doing this anymore. I love you, but I have to set boundaries for myself too.
Good for you, Dominic.
This is February 20th, 2022. 5 months later, Dom will be dead. Now, I'm not singling out this like one toxic fight that happened months in advance where Mackenzie is clearly suffocating Dom over and over again, not respecting his boundaries. But I'm emphasizing that this happens multiple times a week. Like it even, okay, when you go to part 4 where we go through the text messages, it would be like a 5-day long video for me to recount in full every single fight that Mackenzie starts. April 2022, for example, it happens all over again. And this is just from their Instagram DMs, okay? Because the
This is
text
just from
messages are in part
Instagram.
4. This is from their DMs. April 2022, it starts all over. Dom resorts to DMing her because she blocked his text from coming in, and he's confused. Which, side note, all of this is happening because Dom did not jump at his feet, jump up, enthusiastic about wanting to take Mackenzie to the grocery store.
Oh my
She says,
God.
I want to go with you, but I want you to try without me telling you you have to try. You only try when it's too late, so now it's too late. He responds, when was I not trying? We've been doing this all day. I don't care. No, you have not. Why would I want to be around you after you just did all this bullshit all day? What have I done? I've only apologized over and over again all day while you called me names. You have 2 minutes to be at my house to take me to the grocery store. 60 seconds. 45 seconds. Okay, I'll be on the way in a sec. Then he DMs again, on the way. Then he DMs when he shows up at her house. Here. Even just 2 months before Dom and Davion are killed, they're in another fight through Instagram. And side note, by this point, Mackenzie is essentially living with Dom. She's 17, her parents have let her move in. But this fight, Dom tells her, Kenzie, I'm not going to talk to you till you acknowledge what you did wrong.
Thank you. Go, Dom,
note,
go.
I don't want anyone to be under the impression that I'm taking creative liberty in the tone of Dom's voice, because there is a video fight of them. And most people say that Dom was like a very chill speaker. He never is yelling, screaming. Kenzie is always yelling, screaming. So it's not that like I'm trying to phrase Dom's voice to be more passive. Like there's a literal fight where she is outside banging on his door and this is how he talks. This is his cadence. He's always trying to diffuse. He's never flipping out. There's one part where he does raise his voice at Mackenzie and Mackenzie intentionally records it, but it almost seems like the man is so frustrated. Like he's like, stop, like don't stop, don't talk, like you're saying disrespectful shit, like stop.
If anything comes out your mouth that's gonna be disrespectful, instigating, or anything at all, like, I'm whipping this car over, okay? And you are getting the fuck out immediately. I don't care where it is. Do not say anything that could piss me off, okay? You know what the fuck could piss me off. Just don't say a single fucking word.
But this fight, it appears that he does not
Yeah, and the fact that she's literally recording him while he's like, she clearly doesn't give a fuck. She clearly does not care in any way, shape, or form. Ugh, this hurts my brain, you guys. Holy moly. I'm excited because like I like that I've learned stuff and whatever, but like I shouldn't say I'm excited because it's a terrible thing that happened. 2 people lost their lives. I just mean that true crime is something that I'm really passionate about, and I really was excited to be like, oh, maybe I should like react to stuff, especially about this case in general, because I know it's kind of a thing right now because the crash came out and so on and so forth. So I thought it might be fun, and it was kind of like my first thing to think about reacting to and whatever. But yeah, wow. Like, even in all the stuff that I have watched previously before this, I didn't realize it was this bad. I didn't realize how manipulative she is or seems to be. Like, I'm not saying that's how she is now because who knows? You would think that prison would have taught her something and that she's trying to be a better person and so on and so forth, but it's just the whole thing is so crazy to me that this is how she acted at one point in time, even if that's not how she acts anymore. Wow.
want Kenzie at his house because she's being rude and mean to him, which is completely understandable and a
Yeah,
healthy boundary
totally.
was set.
Yeah.
But she argues that he's holding his house over her head and she's not going to let him do that. Which, side note, she does not pay rent. This is not her house. She doesn't pay mortgage. She's not on the title of the deed. It's also not like he kicked her out of nowhere. She could literally just go home to her parents where she should probably be living. Mackenzie escalates the fight. I'll come today and take all the shit I got right out of that house. So she's like, fine, I'm moving out for good. Kenzie, I'm not doing anything. Like, you have been being mean to me and have not stopped since this morning. All you have to do is apologize to me about how you're saying hurtful things. I'm done listening to this bullshit and I'll talk to you when you're in a better state. And no, Kenzie, I'm not holding anything over your head. I don't want you here if you're acting like this. So you're saying that I'm not allowed to come to the place I sleep at every night? No, Kenzie, I told you that you can talk to me when you say sorry, and coming here is part of it. So you're holding it over my head is what you're saying.
No.
If you can't apologize
That's
or
not
realize what you
what
did
he's
wrong,
saying
I
at
don't want you
all.
around me. What we're not gonna do is hold the place that you say I could stay at whenever I want over my head. She starts a video chat. He does not pick up. Mackenzie goes off, to which Dom says, Kenzie, I just don't want you to come here and have problems. I'm doing the mature thing and avoiding petty conflict, and if you cared, you would have stopped too.
Exactly. This girl doesn't give 2 fucks about him. He was the love of my life. Bitch, when? Where? How? This is how you treat the love of your life? Okay. Right. This is how you treat your soulmate? Okay.
Kenzie does not listen. He's trying to de-escalate. She says, we're not going to play this game. I'm not letting you hold a place that I live in over my head. You don't even care enough to be replying fast. No, Kenzie, I don't want you here because I don't want conflict, and you never said sorry either. I'm not going to apologize for doing nothing, and I want to come over to eat, not to talk to you. I'm just going to sit on the couch and ignore you, but there's you holding it over my head again. You can let me come over and eat, or you can bring me all the stuff that I brought over to your house and we can be over. Approximately 3 minutes go by. Dom hasn't responded, so Mackenzie writes, not sure why you're being dry and not responding. Dom responds, I mean, you did call me the R word, called me a pig, said a lot of nasty things, and now you want to come eat my food without apologizing. Let me know if you're going to keep holding it over my head or not, because I will just get all the pots and pans and stuff I brought to your house right now. I'm not trying to hold it over your head. If you can't respect me, how do I expect you to respect my house?
Exactly.
He says that there's still coffee on his door from her, which seems like he's saying like she threw coffee.
Oh.
And there's coffee on the door. But she ignores that and says, like I said, I will come get everything that I brought over. And holes in my wall. The holes in your wall are not from me, so are you not letting me come?
What does holes in the wall mean? Punch?
Yeah, or like throwing things, I would
Oh.
imagine, yeah. And so Dom says, if you can't prove to me you're gonna respect me and my home, or at least the very least apologize, I don't want you here. Like, if you want me to leave your things outside, I will. To which Kenzie says, you can put everything in a box then. If you're not gonna let me come to the place that you said I could always come, then put everything that I brought in a box and I'm coming to get it. If you're not gonna let me stay at this house, then we are done. I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody that likes to lie and tell me things that are not true. You are making this so much worse.
How does she put it on him? Like, someone gave you a place to stay. Now
Oh my
she
God.
Yeah.
turn it around, make it.
Yeah, it's on him.
Holding
Like
it
what?
over her head.
That's gaslighting. Right?
Yeah, it's very manipulative. I think sometimes I do have the problem with a lot of these encounters between Kenzie and Dom being categorized as toxic, in the sense that I do think that if the roles were reversed, I don't know if we would be labeling these fights as toxic. I think we would be much more easily labeling them as completely abusive. Like, it's just really abusive.
I
There's
agree.
not really a lighter way to put it. And
I
so
agree.
Dom responds, Kenzie, you are. Like, all that was needed was a simple apology. You're not making the right decisions or acting normal. So what's it gonna be? So are you not gonna let me come to the place that you said I could always come? Is that what you're saying? You're treating me like shit. Stop. Asking you questions or treating you bad? What the actual fuck? Like, Dom is like, what the actual fuck? This is your last chance to let me come and eat, or you can put all my stuff in a bin and I'll come get it right now. I would answer right now. She starts a video chat that goes unanswered. She calls again and again and again and again and again, and then she DMs Dom. You just fucked up. Another video chat goes unanswered. You have 3 seconds to answer or I'm coming. Of course you would rather me starve. He keeps telling her she's being toxic, but she keeps calling, typing, I would
Dude.
answer right now. Dom seemingly begs her,
Your parents can't feed you? Dear sweet God.
quote, stop. You deadass have 20 seconds. This is why I'm not letting you come. You're threatening and shit. Another video chat, then another. She calls 8 times back to back to back to back. He does not
Oh
respond,
my
and then she
God.
tells him, okay, I'm gonna come. He doesn't respond to more video chats. She says, I would answer right now. Like, I really don't want to end this relationship, but you are not a good person. You treat me like fucking shit. I need water and food, and you're not letting me eat. You are starving. You would rather me starve. I'm so serious when I say answer. Kenzie, stop, please. I'll bring you food and water. So she's at her parents' house. Now, Mackenzie has somehow made this about
What do you
starving.
mean? Like,
Okay, you're at your parents' house right now and you, what, they can't make you food? They don't know your special GMO gluten-free diet? They're your parents. Seriously, girl. Holy. Oh, holy.
you're at home. You
Yeah.
have fucking food and water. What are you saying?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So he's like, I don't want to be around you because we're going to get into a fight.
Yeah.
But I will bring you food and water because you're accusing me of starving you. Like, I will drive to your house, even though you don't deserve it and you haven't even apologized. I will bring you food and water. And then I just need some alone time because this situation's only going to escalate. So he's like willing to do all of this and still de-escalate. I mean, again, if the roles were reversed, this is like, frankly, a terrifying relationship dynamic that is just abusive. Dom offers to bring food, water. Kenzie just gets racist instead. She writes to him, you need to answer right now, N-word. I do not want to be here. So she's talking about she doesn't want to be home at her parents'. What are you not getting? You know that. Which, side note, a lot of people have interpreted that perhaps there was some sort of abuse going on in Mackenzie's house. I really, going through the whole FOIA file, there's no way to definitively say that that's not what's happening, but I don't think so. She genuinely hates her parents for 0 reasons. Like, sometimes it'll be, my dad woke me up because he was playing the TV so loud. Is he fucking R-worded? Like, she'll literally be texting Dom that.
So where is the parents? How did she become this way? This is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is crazy.
And again, like when she is saying in caps, I don't want to be here. I know that a lot of us, maybe from a point of empathy or trying to give people benefit of the doubt or trying to protect people who are 17, it's like, oh, maybe something's going on in the house and she's expressing herself in this really aggressive manner because she just frantically needs to leave. That does not appear to be the case. Like, she genuinely hates her parents because they eat McDonald's. She thinks they're slobs. She doesn't like the fact that her dad plays the TV too loud. He's so dense. Is he slow? Like, she's just, yeah. There's a whole birthday debacle we're gonna go into later. She is like so adamant that she wants to go to Florida for her birthday. I'm just gonna give you a recap because it's so crazy. She's so adamant that she's gonna go to Florida for her birthday, but there's a hurricane coming to Florida because it's Florida. And she's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just pissed off. She has her entire family and Dom scrambling to figure out where to go next to make Mackenzie happy. And she's like, you guys are gonna fucking fix this vacay. And she's like, she's going off on them. And she's like, Dom, you're gonna book me a ticket to Cali right now and fix my birthday vacay. And they're all just like trying to make her happy.
The parents are too?
Yeah.
Why?
Holy moly, dude. I am in utter shock of how entitled a human being she is. The world truly revolves around Mackenzie fucking Sharilla. She can do no fucking wrong. She can take no accountability for anything. It's never her fault. Wow.
Beats me. I mean, they're just straight enablers. They're so incompetent as parents. If I was the president, if I ran this world, I feel like they could even be criminally liable in my fake universe, because like, how do you raise someone like this? Yeah, it should be a crime to be this bad of a parent. I think it's like worse. It's like similar to neglect. Like you are neglecting their capabilities of growing up to be a good contributing member of society. It's just so messed up. So then she's just responding like, what are you not getting? You know that. He responds, then stop being toxic. She does not think that these two things are connected. She writes in all caps, I do not want to be here, so you're going to starve me? Is that what you're saying? Stop being toxic and I'll let you come. He finally tells her, I'm done. So she goes off. Then please just break up with me then. If you're gonna sit here and let me beg you for food and water, then break up with me, because any good man would never do this to his girlfriend. I would answer right now, you're making this so bad for yourself. Kenzie, now you're being toxic. I said I'd bring you food and water, but instead you're trying to make it about bringing all your other stuff. I do not want to be here. Why are you not getting that? You didn't let me apologize on the phone, and you didn't apologize sincerely to me. Tom was like, I just need 20 minutes. Just give me 20 minutes and stop being toxic, and we can talk again on the phone if you apologize and I can let you come over. But instead, you just spam me for the last 20 minutes being toxic as fuck. She says, if you're not gonna let me come over here, then I'm going to bring all the stuff that I brought home. It's our house. You always say that. I'm not letting you hold it over my head when I put in the work to the house too. I'm allowed to go over there and eat when all the food that I like is over there. You're holding this over my head. You're still being toxic. I would literally let you come over right now if you would just stop saying all this toxic shit and just leave it alone for a second and let me brush my teeth and then just call you back and apologize. It's all you had to do. You still have to apologize also. I'm not being toxic. I'm telling you what you're doing.
Oh my
Why would
God.
I keep bringing pots and pans and stuff for your house over if you're gonna hold it over my head and not let me there? Stop. It just doesn't make sense. You expect all this good when you treat me like shit. You're still doing it. You won't stop. Like, what the fuck? And you're still not apologizing. Dom seems frustrated. He just tells
Again, you are the one who needs to apologize. Where is your self-reflection? Where is your sense of accountability? Holy.
her, let me just bring you food. I do not want to be here. Can you not read? And if you still want me to bring other shit, I'll bring it later. Like, she responds, why are you not understanding that I do not want to be here? Then stop being toxic and arguing with me. I'm gonna come over or this relationship is going to be over. I'm not letting you do this to me. Just let me cool down. Just let it cool down for 10 minutes and then apologize. You're not gonna hold over a house that we built together over my head.
What?
Yeah, she's acting like she's fucking Martha stewarding this house. Like, she's done nothing. She also, like, she never cleans. She lives like a slob. Everyone has not testified, but they have spoken up about how she's a slob. Dom tells her, like, I'm asking for the bare minimum. Mackenzie responds, and I'm asking for literally 1 peach and water, but you can't even let me come eat. Dom
The
responds, in all
food you
caps,
like is over
"Stop.
there?
Why is this making you so mad? I can't
The food you want is a fucking peach? You don't have that at your parents' house?
ask for food now." So now she's acting like he's like this a threatening, abusive person who's like controlling what she eats.
Yeah.
I'm about to be done texting you. I told you so many times I will bring you a peach and water. And if you really want, I can bring the rest of the stuff later. But instead, you're trying to say I'm holding my house and food over your head when I'm really not. You just can't respect me and can't stop arguing and being toxic. That's why I'm not letting you over. This is when she finally apologizes a little bit. Not
Holy
really.
fuck.
She says, obviously, I'm sorry for calling you names. My life was literally going to shit, and so many things were happening, which obviously you don't care about. I didn't mean anything that I called you because you didn't mean what you said. I'm not being toxic, and I'm respecting you. I've done nothing disrespectful except ask you for food. You're still not understanding that I do not want to be here, and you're still offering to bring me food somewhere where I don't want it, when I could literally come there and eat. Why are you doing this? You are treating me like fucking shit right now. If this old pattern is going to keep happening, then I don't know if I can do this anymore. Dom tries to set boundaries, which like that was not even an apology, by the way. Okay, Dom tries to set boundaries for the trillionth time. You are being toxic by forcing me to do things. I wasn't forcing you to do anything. You could have just let me come over and all of this would have been chill. Like, I need food and water so bad you don't even care. Dom responds with what Mackenzie was forcing him to do. He says, you're not letting me get off the phone, not apologizing when I said that all you had to do to come over was just apologize or leave me alone for a little bit to cool down. But instead, you said you can't apologize. And then you said that I have to bring you all your things when I said that I could bring you a peach and water. But I was only saying that because you were going to apologize. See, you're making it a loop because every single time I was telling you to apologize, you were saying no. And then I was saying, well, let me bring you food and water and a peach. And then you were saying, oh, I'm holding the house over your head. I'm holding food over your head. When all I wanted was an apology so that, you know, for you to just come from you to keep saying, but then you keep saying, I don't care, that you just need food and water, but I've been trying to bring it to you this whole time and you just keep arguing with me. See how you're still being toxic? So he's like finally like letting it out, okay? He's like, we're just going in a loop. And I think that's why the message is so confusing because he's like, I'm living in a loop. I don't even know what's going on. Like, this is what you're forcing me to do. And after all of that, because he's like, all I wanted was an apology. Like, that's the crux of his feeling. He's like, I just want you to apologize for being toxic. Which is completely reasonable. Mackenzie responds, did you not read my apology? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you acting like I didn't apologize when I literally just said?
No, you
She
did
sends
not.
a screenshot of her half-assed apology just 2 seconds ago and then sends it to him. You could have just read that and understood, but I guess not. Dom is so confused. He says, you didn't read anything I said. You apologized for calling me names and then continue to be toxic.
Exactly.
So you're not gonna let me come over now when I literally apologized? Dom clearly doesn't feel heard and his boundaries are still being crossed. He writes, quote, you apologize and are still toxic. She flips out. Like, what is going on? Why aren't you letting me come and eat? She keeps doing this until finally he texts her, fine, come eat. Are you sure? Yeah, just don't be toxic. I was never holding anything over your head. I said I'd bring you food and water. I said leave me alone for a sec and apologize and you could come over too, but you didn't leave me alone. I do appreciate the apology you did make, though. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about understanding and growth.
Exactly.
This is what Dom says, and this is from May 23rd, 2022, just 2 months before Dom is killed. Since Davion is no longer 18 years old, his parents felt that he was ready to be taken off their Life 360 app, which is the app like your parents can track the kids' locations, whether or not they're speeding or they're driving or if they're in the car right now or if they're walking. But instead of just getting rid of the app altogether, Davion instead connects it to his friend group. So he has a tight, close-knit group of friends and they all share each other's Life 360 apps.
Really? Wow.
I guess it's like, you know, Find My Friends. You just want to make sure everybody's safe.
Yeah.
You want to track everybody's
I
locations,
have that.
make sure that everybody is... I think the idea is very responsible. Now, July 31st, 2022, at 9:43 a.m., Davion's friends are on the Life 360 app and they're confused because they see Davion's location is heading towards the Strongsville police station. They're like, okay, well, maybe he's just heading in that general direction. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to the police station, right? Within a few minutes, Davion's location shows that he is inside the Strongsville police station, or at least his phone is. And they're like, this is really odd. Like, why would Davion be at the police station at 10 in the morning? Like, this is so weird. They check his Life 360 history, and they notice there is this weird incident that happened at 5:30 a.m. At 5:30 a.m., they get an alert, and it shows Davion's phone location heading down Progress Drive. Progress Drive is technically officially called Progress Drive Business Park, because it's basically a commercial road. I don't even know if commercial is the right word. It's more so industrial. So you drive down Progress and it's just a ton of these light industrial warehouses. I feel like you've all seen those like business parks where you've got the flex office spaces and then you've got the warehouses. You see lots of big trucks driving through that road. It's not massive Amazon level warehouses, but it's also not corporate in the sense of like, oh, this is our corporate location where we invite clients over. Like, you're going to see a lot of manufacturing companies, pipeline businesses, plumbing businesses have, you know, locations down here, like ICI Metals, Rafter Equipment Corporation, Pipeline Development Company. Like, they all have buildings along Progress Drive. It's just warehouses and their parking lots. There's no residential homes, no shops that you can stop in and grab a coffee, no pedestrians. It's just an industrial road. Why would Davion be there at 5:35 in the morning? With an alert on Life 360 showing high-speed alert with the top speed at 90 miles per hour. And the Life 360 app shows that Davion's location is stopped for a point in time at one of the warehouse buildings, specifically the Pipeline Development Company. It almost looks like he's gone into the building with his phone? Why would Davion be in this random warehouse building at 5:35 a.m.? And now a few hours later, he's just heading to the Strongsville police station? Davion's friends are really confused. They're trying to like in real time piece together what's going on because they're like, what's happening? 6:15 a.m., a 911 call is made.
Southwest Dispatch.
Yes. Are you familiar where Progress coincides with Albion Road there in Strongsville? There's a car that's smashed up against the building. They ran the curb. I can see they smashed the sign and hit the building.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building. I didn't go up to it because I was on my motorcycle. I don't know if I'd get stuck, but they ran the curb. I can see they smashed the sign and hit the building. The car is trapped. That's the direct 911 call. When the first responding officer arrives at the end of Progress Drive, so this is kind of a dead-end zone. Progress Drive, you make a right turn from the main road of Pearl, and you make a right turn onto Progress, or at least that's what Mackenzie did. And it's like this half-mile drive. It's, some people call it like a straight shot, but it's not really. There are gentle curves along this road, and the road is pretty fucked up. I mean, it's an industrial road. First of all, it's actually one of the older roads in the city, but it's an industrial road, so you have lots of heavy trucks and machinery driving past it, so the concrete on the pavement is not very level. And I guess the city is thinking, well, we don't really have a lot of people driving through this. This is like an industrial area, and it's probably going to get messed up anyway, so they haven't really fixed it. So it's kind of a bumpy drive. It's not a drive where you can just kind of wing it. It's like you'd want to have good control over your car. Now, at the very end of Progress Drive, there is like a dead end. So you keep driving down Progress, and then you're going to see grass, a sign for the pipeline company, and then the red brick building. When you get there on the road, you can make a right or a left. So it's a T intersection.
I see.
But you cannot keep going straight because that's where the red brick building is. But that is what Mackenzie's black Toyota has done. It has gone straight, essentially flying through the building sign, through the grass, and jamming the car straight into the corner of this warehouse building. The car looks obliterated. You can hear the officer, the first responding officer through the body cam, starting to freak out, and he's going straight into work. He is booking it to the car as quickly as he can. He's panting. And as he's running through the grass, you see that there's just massive chunks of this car and debris scattered all around. The car accident looks not accident, the car crash looks less like a car crash. I say accident because he doesn't know what's going on. So to him, like, he's responding to a car accident. It looks like a bomb went off. The car looks like it exploded. The only way to convey the extent of the car's state through words is it looks like the front passenger side of the car had been run through a hydraulic press. It's just like smashed, disintegrated. The officer radios in for backup. Radio, there's a car split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside.
This car's split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside.
He notices the driver first because naturally that's the first place you look for an occupant. Send us some squad now. We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units. This is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while. He sees initially just one person in the car. Then he radios again. We got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God, times 3. Radio, 3 occupants, no one's conscious, no one's breathing, and they start freaking out.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God, times 3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious. No one's breathing. Who can hear my voice?
There's banging, he's like screaming, who can hear my voice? Radio, we're gonna need full extraction, all 3. And he's saying like, holy shit, this is bad, guys. They're all pretty young. Now, upon first glance, the front passenger side where Dom was sitting has a lot of the impact. There's a video of the car, and the video is taken after the car is taken to a separate lot. And the front of the car, I was almost confused, like, am I being shown the wrong car? Like, are they gonna move to show me the black Toyota? Because the front of the car looks white. Because it's not like it's a half paint job. It's the front of the car had been disintegrated where all you can see is metal.
Yeah, holy shit,
That's
you can't even see the side
the
of the car.
officer doesn't have anything hard to smash open the windows. Like, multiple units arrive, and they're just like they're even thinking like, do we use our gun? Like, we need to get in here.
Sarge, we're good to try to get her out? Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
They can't get the window open. Eventually, they jam it open. And once they get into the car, they can quickly tell that 2 of them are not going to make it.
Oh my God. Oh, yeah, they're all pretty young. We got 2 that are gone.
I have a 17-year-old female, Mackenzie.
Okay, that might be the driver.
I know
Absolutely
that there
insane.
is speculations, theories online that Davion was alive at the time of the unit's arrival. It seems like that is not accurate. By all accounts, Dom and Davion were confirmed DOA, dead on arrival by the
Yeah, I was gonna
officers.
say.
First responding officer later says in a less panicked and more somber tone, like, we got 2 that are gone. Jesus Christ, like, this is probably the worst I've ever seen.
I know. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, look at that car.
It's the worst I've ever seen.
He's trying to explain to the new officers that are showing up, like, it's like a nightmare. I ran up. I go, this is bad.
Look
I
at,
ran
like,
up. I saw
look at
1.
the
I called
car
her in. I
pieces
looked in the
fucking
back.
everywhere.
There's 2. I call it in. And then you see 3, and you're like, Jesus, and no one's fucking moving. At some point, the officers find an ID and realize that the individual in the backseat is Davion. And I don't know how this officer knows. Maybe he has a kid the same age, or maybe he's just very involved in high school sports, but he says he's a fucking Strongsville football player. And so they mention that he's a running back, and the officer walks to the back seat of the car and taps on the metal and says, rest in peace, buddy.
All right, this is going to be another issue with notifications. That kid lives in Kelsey Lane in Strongsville.
Yeah, he's a Strongsville football player.
Rest in peace, buddy.
The first responders, they arrive and they inform the other officers at the scene, contacted the coroner, they're on their way out. And just to add to the chaos, you know, there's wind and debris being thrown about because a life flight has landed to take the only person that has a pulse into this flying ER to the hospital. Now, the day after the crash, police are knocking on the door to the hospital room with the only survivor, and that is Mackenzie Sherilla. She has 3 broken ribs, a lacerated liver, kidney, damaged arteries, a broken femur
Holy
above the knee.
crap.
Her legs and arms are in casts. She has a neck brace on. She does objectively look messed up, but she's alive. She's the only one from the car that is alive. And by this point, her parents have told her, they say that they told her that her boyfriend Dom and Davion had been killed. Mackenzie's parents say that after getting out of surgery in the middle of the night, Mackenzie asked, where's Dom? They didn't really think that there was a way to calm her down, so they tell her, and she's just screaming, it's not him, it's not him. Then she asks about Davion, and they say that she learns that he didn't make it, and she was just sobbing, oh God, oh God. But the officers aren't really interested in any of that. They want to know what the hell happened in that car, because it
Yeah,
doesn't
no
make
kidding.
any sense. They were able to pull CCTV camera footage from a nearby warehouse that shows the black Toyota that Mackenzie is driving. There's sound to the CCTV, and it sounds like a missile, and you
Yeah.
hear the crash.
Like, it sounds like a missile. And then an explosion.
I will say that there are TikToks going around that they enhance the audio, and you can hear one of the boys screaming, Mackenzie, no. That does not appear to be true at all. It would have been in the police reports. It would have been talked about during the trial. But you can hear the car, and it's going fast, and you hear it crash. It sounds bad.
Yeah.
There is no
it sounds
feasible reason that
terrible.
the officers can think of what would cause Mackenzie to drive in this manner. Like, this is not a road that is easy to speed on. It's an industrial road with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour. Not saying that you can't speed over the speed limit, but it's like a pretty bumpy road. So one of the officers actually got into his cruiser, and he went around 55 in his cruiser. And he said, like, the wheel was shaking because, like I said, the road, the concrete is kind of messed up. It's an
It's
industrial
all
road.
bumpy,
So he's like, to be able
not
to
paved
maneuver,
properly.
because it's not like they were going all over the place. It's like a straight shot missile. It's not like she's, you know, driving and swerving and hitting things and hitting the curb and then slamming into the building. It's like, it almost looks like you'd have to be pretty in control of the vehicle, which also they think that means if someone blacked out or passed out or were so drunk, this is
Yeah.
not a road that you can maneuver before straight shotting it into the building.
Yeah, they show there's some a video out there somewhere that shows the type of road that Progress is, and if you were passed out, you wouldn't have been able. That's the other thing, is not only would your muscles not be rigid and you wouldn't have the accelerator pad pressed all the way down, but also that there you would have crashed before that if you had passed out, or like something, like you'd have to, the boys would have had to have done something. Otherwise, there's no way.
They're like, if she was drunk on progress, she would have hit something else first.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they pull another version of CCTV camera. So remember, Pearl is the main road of Strongsville. Progress, you turn right.
Yeah.
So you're on Pearl, then you make a right onto Progress.
Yeah.
They pull CCTV camera from that road. And Mackenzie, when she does that right turn, her blinker's on, she slows down, and she has a controlled right turn. And then within the span of like half a mile, suddenly she loses control of the car, and then speed shots it almost 100 miles per hour straight into the building.
Yep.
So like nothing makes sense. I think initially when the police got there, they're thinking, okay, young kids, we found shrooms on Mackenzie. They found a quartz Ziploc bag of shrooms on Mackenzie's person, along with a digital scale. So they're thinking maybe this is impaired driving. But when they get all the CCTV camera, they're like, that doesn't make sense. How are you driving completely normally and completely safe, and then all of a sudden you cannot drive?
Yep.
With the argument essentially being, okay, so if Mackenzie is impaired, she's somehow managing to drive with the skill of like an F1 driver straight into a building. So the police believe that rules out the fact that she could be impaired, though they do a toxicology report or test just to make sure. More on that in a second, but later, Mackenzie and her parents, as well as her defense attorney, will argue that Mackenzie was impaired, just not by drugs, not by anything that's going to show up in the toxicology. They argue that Mackenzie was diagnosed with POTS, which can cause someone to faint. I will note that not everyone diagnosed with POTS faints. It's actually, like, this is a very misrepresented diagnosis. In fact, that's a point of frustration with a lot of people who are diagnosed with POTS, is that everyone assumes that they pass out when it's not even part of the diagnostic criteria. Diagnostic criteria typically rest entirely on heart rate response, not fainting. Fainting, however, is a possible symptom, but not everyone with POTS faints. In fact, it's considered kind of like a rare event. It's been described as a disorder where it just feels like you're going to faint. And you might faint. It is, life altering, but it's not like, oh, everyone with POTS is fainting all the time and like they shouldn't be behind the wheel. Like, it's not this like, oh my gosh, so scary, you're gonna die, and like everyone, you can't be behind a car. The hallmark for POTS is more so a heart rate increase of at least 30 beats per minute in adults within the first 10 minutes of standing up, or a head up tilt. It's very much based on standing up. That's like a huge thing with POTS. It's okay. So a lot of it is centered around when someone without POTS, I guess like if you and I were not diagnosed with POTS, we stand up. Gravity pulls 10 to 15% of blood into the stomach and the legs. The body will compensate by tightening the blood vessels and modestly adjusting the heart rate. For people with POTS, the blood vessels will not tighten. So blood, pools below the heart, and in an attempt to overcorrect, because the body doesn't really, they're like, whoa, what's going on? Then the body will flood their system with norepinephrine and epinephrine. So the heart is just getting epinephrine and norepinephrine and doesn't really know why. So naturally it causes the heart rate to shoot up abnormally. So, that's like, they might get lightheaded, dizziness, more so than just like, oh, I'm a little dizzy, right? POTS is a life-altering diagnosis, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, this is not serious, but it's not considered life-threatening. There are no deaths attributed directly to POTS. I think that's a huge thing that people in the POTS community feel like the stigma is a lot, especially with driving. And I was actually on the POTS subreddit, and they really hate Mackenzie, it seems, because a lot of them, most of them have been diagnosed with POTS for decades. A lot of them say they've never fainted. And they actually, it was like very annoying, because when people find out they have POTS, it's always like, how can you dare drive? Like, there's so many misconceptions about POTS, and it's just not, they feel it's not true. So that's not to say that people with POTS don't faint. They absolutely can and do, and it can be life-altering when they faint, because typically the biggest practical danger of POTS is injury from fainting. So like you faint, you fall, and you hit your head. Now, it does appear that the general public does just think it's a fainting disease, which doesn't seem to be the case at all. But it's also a condition where you could have been diagnosed, gone years without fainting, and then you suddenly faint. It is entirely possible. Does that mean that that's what happened in this case? Most people don't think so, for a lot of reasons that we're going to dive deeper in a separate episode, but I'm just going to give you a little bit right now. So interestingly enough, a lot of people with POTS thinks that this whole thing is ridiculous, okay? Even the way that Mackenzie's mom talks about POTS in court later during Mackenzie's trial, she calls POTS a blood pressure condition, which inherently is not true. So when your blood pressure drops, that's when people faint. Fainting can be a symptom for some people with POTS, but the condition itself is not a blood pressure condition. It's like more a heart rate condition. So it's just like people are like, how can you say that your daughter is diagnosed with POTS and that's what caused this fatal crash, but you sound so uneducated about POTS? Like if this was truly a condition that was life-altering enough for Mackenzie to get diagnosed with it and then later, according to them, get into a fatal car accident, killing 2 people in the car because of POTS, you would think her mother would know a bit about POTS. But she calls it a blood pressure condition in court, which is inherently not true. Blood pressure, again, plays a role, but it's not a blood pressure condition. If you go on the POTS subreddit, you'll actually see a lot of people who argue that had this been a POTS-related episode, it's more likely that her body would go limp rather than floor the pedal all the way straight into the wall. So they're saying, like, when you faint, it's more likely with POTS that your body goes limp.
I see.
One person literally comments, she's so fucking stupid. If this were a POTS episode, the exact opposite would happen. There are also speculations that her diagnosis could have come from the fact that she was engaged in super heavy drug use and she does appear to be low on the BMI scale.
Yes.
So feeling lightheaded upon standing is not always POTS. It could be because you're malnourished or your BMI is too low. It could be heavy drug usage. It could be low iron. It could be lots of things. But again, like with POTS diagnosis, that's why a lot of people, again, are in the community upset. There's a lot of specific criteria. Usually the gold standard is a tilt test. They like strap you to this board and they put you in a direction which would simulate standing up. And they keep you there for like 10 minutes while they're watching your heart rate and all of these things. But she gets diagnosed in 2017 because she apparently like fainted in the kitchen. Her mom takes her to the Cleveland Clinic and she's prescribed salt tabs and is diagnosed with POTS. And then it just seems like nothing ever happens. Like they don't get follow-ups. They don't do further diagnostic testing, at least that it's not revealed in court. I don't have her medical records, but I would assume that the defense would have used it. In fact, I also think it's weird that the defense, if they really were trying to argue this whole POTS thing, why don't you just strap her up to the tilt test board? Why don't you like definitively prove? Because Natalie Sharilla didn't even know the diagnosing physician. She's like, I don't even know what doctor it was. Like there was no upkeep in this POTS diagnosis. There was nothing. And then also it's the fact that people were saying, okay, so she fainted once in the kitchen, and this is not to comment on people's weights, but she does seem probably very low on the BMI scale to the point where some doctors may be alarmed. That could cause lightheadedness, that could cause fainting.
Yeah.
She is engaging in heavy drug use. It could be a wide variety of reasons. And her mom gets her diagnosed with POTS, right? So it's just like, and if that were all true, if this is the case, Mackenzie faints in the kitchen, her mom gets her diagnosed with POTS, and her mom still let her have a car while smoking weed with POTS that would be a huge problem. Not because people with POTS cannot drive, because they absolutely can. And just as safely as any other law-abiding citizen without POTS. But Mackenzie is 17. Her mom says she's fainting in the kitchen. Her parents know she partakes in an ungodly amount of smoking weed. And she's trying to like make the plant go extinct. Like that's how much she's trying to smoke weed. And she likes to drive while high on weed. I would imagine like that's a huge problem if you're letting your daughter do that. And another thing is, if the gibberish speak, the carny speak in the hospital room is to be believed, the fact that she was speaking in what her dad, describes to be carny, allegedly saying, can we just tell them that I had a seizure? Seizures and POTS are not even the same thing. Like these are entirely different things. Seizures and fainting due to POTS are not the same. We can't just fucking make pasta and see what sticks to the wall. A lot of comments on the POTS subreddit are along the lines of like, genuinely made me so mad. I feel like her claims are just adding to the misconceptions about POTS. How in the world would a POTS episode make you push harder on the gas? Such absolutely bullshit, and I'm glad she's in jail. Another one reads, amazing how fainting and losing consciousness can perfectly keep the car steered and accelerated. For sure. Another says, my jaw hit the floor when she said it was a medical event due to POTS. Only people with POTS would know that's not how it works. People have also noted that during the trial, during high stress situations with likely dehydration and other things playing into the mix, she never asked for a break because she felt like she was fainting, which is reasonable and expected for someone with POTS. So because like your heart rate goes up when you're stressed and high cortisol, and you know, she's sitting in the courtroom on trial, she's probably not drinking a ton of water, dehydration, and she never asked like the judge for a moment because feels like faint and lightheaded. You know, there's lots of moments where she's standing, sitting, judge walks in, she stands. Like there's not.
Yeah,
like,
she
suddenly,
never
nothing
once
matters.
ever.
You only had POTS in that like 2 minutes in the car.
Yeah.
They also argue that medical
Exactly.
records after she's life flighted don't match someone with POTS, that after being pulled out of that car with all the other factors, her blood pressure was qualitatively described as elevated when she's pulled from the crash. Now, I will say they are pulled from the crash way later from the actual accident, but some people have argued like POTS would cause, if you fainted, it would be low blood pressure, not high blood pressure, but she had elevated blood pressure. She also had a normal heart rate and ECG showing normal electrical heart function, which probably wouldn't happen, they think, in a POTS episode within like even an hour. Like POTS episode, all of that physical trauma, and then your heart rate is normal. Like they just don't think that makes sense. And also when they extract her from the car, it's like a posterior condition. So she's being moved. So that would mean if she does have POTS, her heart rate should go up because she's going from sitting to probably at least some form of like she's moving. Now, it's interesting to note that her defense did not bring an expert to testify about Mackenzie's POTS and how she could have fainted while operating the vehicle. Some people believe it was a genuine accident, and people who believe it was not have mixed reasonings as to why the defense did not bring in an expert during the trial. We're going to get into it in a second. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're going to cover it thoroughly later. So the first theory that police had was that Mackenzie was high and impaired while driving, but it just doesn't make sense with all the CCTV footage they're getting. Very early on, Mackenzie's mom is saying things like, oh, she has POTS, like in the hospital. So she's like, oh, maybe it was the POTS, right? And the police are like, well,
But she doesn't have
that
POTS.
doesn't seem to be the case either. Like, we don't really think that's what happened either. So the police get the black box data from the vehicle, and according to the reports, it reads, the Toyota averaged approximately 80.51 miles per hour in the final second leading up to the collision as it traveled off the roadway. So it struck the commercial sign and then the eastern side of the building. The black box shows that 5 seconds before impact, the Toyota was 100% acceleration, meaning the gas pedal was pressed all the way down. You could not press on the gas further, fully depressed. You cannot press down further. Like, this is very pertinent. And at no point in the 5 seconds was the brake pedal ever pressed. This is the single most consequential data point in this case. I will say there is a change in the engine throttle before impact. That is argued that the car was airborne. So when it hit the curb, I'm not saying it like flew, but it was off the ground, and that will naturally impact the throttle engine readings. But the brake was never pressed. Within the final seconds, there is a small right turn of the steering wheel, then a small left turn, and then a significant right turn of 142 degrees of the steering wheel. 1 second before the crash, the gear shift, is moved to neutral and then moved back to drive. Now, this is done manually. This does not slip on its own. There's nothing in the black box that would show that the car would initiate or engage some sort of protection mode or safety feature where it would go to neutral then back to drive. So like something is happening with the gear shift physically, manually in the car. The car was also found to not have any malfunctions or mechanical errors that could have caused this. Now, I say this with a lot of cases. If anyone truly believes that in a case, a car malfunction is the cause of death or deaths, I think a wrongful death suit demanding tens of millions of dollars will be knocking on the car manufacturer's door. Like that.
Yeah.
That is my opinion, obviously, but I think that is a strong thing. So the black box data shows there's no malfunctioning of the vehicle. I will note there have been conversations online about whether or not Toyota had acceleration issues in the past. So some people are like, oh yeah, Toyota had this thing where it would just freaking accelerate even if when you didn't want it to. Which makes it sound like Toyotas would just go 100 miles per hour out of the blue, leaving the driver and occupants trapped in a deadly rocket. That's okay. This was a whole thing back in 2009. Formal investigations were held into Toyota's what they called the acceleration problem. The Department of Transportation, so there were multiple calls coming in saying like, oh, the Toyota won't brake. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm stepping on the brake, but it's accelerating. Like, help me. Like, people are freaking out. The Department of Transportation actually found that the acceleration from Toyotas, the unintentional accelerations from Toyotas, was mainly from floor mats getting stuck onto the gas pedal.
Yeah.
And more often than not, drivers who inadvertently press the gas pedal thinking they were pressing the brakes and then panicking, but a lot of it was user error. Toyota did a massive recall because they thought the financial loss was better than fighting public opinion. There's a whole revisionist history episode on it that I would probably recommend. NASA engineers also helped investigate, and the findings were NASA found no evidence that a malfunction in electronics caused large unintended accelerations. But this entire piece of Toyota history does not go without its own complications. Lots of people have their own opinions about what happened in the past. There were fatalities connected to what has been dubbed like the unintended acceleration crisis, but there are also conspiracies. A lot of people believe that this was propaganda by American car manufacturers to sow fear in foreign-made cars. Others believe that Toyota paid the fine, so they must have known something was messed up with the cars. I do think like there was like some allegation of like sticky gas pedals, but it's just I'm just giving you a summary of the mixed feelings that people have. I will note that while diving into these conversations, though, even on Reddit, Toyota has at least anecdotally ranked as a very well-trusted car brand. And the argument
Toyotas
goes
are
on
great.
and on about, is this real history? Because it seems like most people, they were like, oh, no, Toyota did something bad. And then everyone in the comments is like, actually, you're wrong. So this is actually what happened. And then the findings are here. But then some people are saying, well, there's this 200-page court document where Toyota paid a fine. And it's not a rabbit hole that I felt was pertinent enough to go down, but it's just, there's no way that that's what happened in Mackenzie's car, especially because, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because her vehicle most likely had a brake override system, which is BOS. Toyota started installing these preemptively after 2009 because of this whole like unintended acceleration crisis. So essentially, if you feel like your car is accelerating unintendedly, let's say your gas pedal is stuck. If you hit the brakes, it'll neutral out the acceleration. It'll engage a safety feature.
Yeah.
So
which makes sense.
Because you're hitting both, technically, right?
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that was never engaged because Mackenzie never hit the brake.
If she didn't hit the brake.
But people are saying, like, if this was one of those unintended accelerations, right, she would have hit the brake. And there's a safety feature that would have been triggered and it would have stopped the car. It's pertinent to the case because there is a picture of a fuzzy Prada slipper found stuck under the acceleration pedal in the crashed Toyota. A lot of people wonder, is this another unintended acceleration issue? Again.
Okay, so really quick, my only thought on the acceleration pedal is why is there no actual pedal on it? Is that because of the crash, I assume? And like it probably flew somewhere in the car or flew somewhere outside the car. I can only assume because of how the car crashed and they just left it looking like that because they're not going to fix it. Cuz like I saw a video of a guy like the car expert like pressing down on the pedal and showing it working properly and like how it comes back up and it doesn't get stuck, you know? But I assumed that they took the actual pedal off to show that, but I guess it would make sense if it flew off in the crash. That would make sense. I just answered my own question, probably.
No, because the brakes were never hit. Toyotas have that safety feature that's been put in, and the prosecutor says, we got back the lab results, and in his professional opinion, the expert stated, the slipper was stuck to the floorboard because of the impact. Like when the car was crushed. The floorboard had actually crumbled around the slipper, so it had no contribution to the crash. It was simply a result of the crash. But let's say you don't trust the prosecutor or his opinions. Still, the BOS system. Prada slipper gets stuck. If she hits the brakes, the BOS system would have been engaged and it would have stopped the car. So if it's not impaired driving, if it's not POTS, if it's not a car malfunction, if it's not an acceleration pedal that's stuck, what is it? And why did the car go to neutral, then go to drive? Why was the steering wheel yanked to the right?
We have so many questions.
The prosecutor says it was chilling. If anybody was awake and alert inside that car, what a horrific last few seconds they endured.
Yeah,
It
no
is hard to
kidding.
comprehend that someone could just drive into a wall at that kind of speed. It is widely believed that Dom and Davion were trying to save their lives in the last few moments. And perhaps there was one of the boys had tried to put the car in neutral to slow it down. It gets put back into drive. Maybe they're trying to take over the steering wheel.
Oh, wow.
Another thing to note is the two boys were not found with their seatbelts on. Lots of people have reported that they always wear seatbelts, so they think they took it off to try and stop the car. And interestingly enough, Mackenzie, who I've watched so many of her videos of her driving under the influence, she almost never wears a seatbelt. But the
Yeah,
day
she's
of the
not wearing a
crash,
seatbelt.
she's wearing a seatbelt.
She's the only one out of the three?
Yeah.
See, that's fucking damning.
For real though. It's insane.
Yeah, see, Dom's wearing a seatbelt.
So with that being said, that is part 1 of the Mackenzie Shirilla case. Stay tuned for the next few parts because we think that this is just the surface. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay, so yeah, something crazy is happening here. And what I would like to do, I don't want to just focus on Mackenzie Shirilla, of course. I'd like to do other true crime things. You guys know that I love true crime. If you know me well, you know that I'm very passionate about true crime. I'm very interested in true crime. True crime is just one of the things I like to consume. And so I feel like reacting to true crime would be fun, but I also feel like my community, like my streaming community, doesn't necessarily want to see me react to that stuff all the time. So I feel like what we're going to do is this is kind of going to be part of the reacts. I will still have the edited versions of the reacts up from stream, but I'm also going to do these every once in a while. I'm probably going to take a few days because, first of all, this is almost 4 hours long. The video itself is 2.5 hours, and there was a lot of information in here. I'm infuriated. Like, honestly, wow. Just wow. So I might take a few days before I go back to more of this, but I do want to do something like this, and like I said, not just for Mackenzie. It won't always be Rotten Mango. I know that there's one guy I watch, his name is Zawoki. I really like his channel. He does a lot of reacts to true crime stuff as well, about like Chris Watts and other ones as well. So I would like to do that, and hopefully I can use like these types of videos to also help me research for my own podcasts and stuff. So yeah, I am honestly shocked. Stuff like this, like if you look at the title of that one, it's just absolutely crazy. And one last final question that really has nothing to do with anything about what we just watched, but if you guys want to help me out a little bit here. So the ears I currently have are labeled, let me zoom out a little bit. The ears I currently have are labeled as wolf ears, but I feel like the tops of them are too narrow for wolf ears, so I don't know. I had the ones that are labeled cat ears, so they're more rounded, kind of like my little cute buddy down here. And I feel like they look they look more like wolf ears, but you guys let me know what you think. I will maybe switch back to these ones for a little while and see how I feel. I'm really not sure, but yeah, and thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me. I know it's kind of random that I'm using a Hogwarts outfit while I talk about or react to murders and things like that, true crime and stuff like that. It's not for any particular reason. This is just how my VTuber loaded up today because I was playing with this last night while watching Harry Potter. So I've been trying to make different outfits and stuff, and I have to fix a few things, and this one was just kind of the one that was ready at the moment. So yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you enjoy these types. Hopefully I can find shorter videos that aren't necessarily this long. Or I don't pause as much or something along those lines. But we are going to go through all 5 parts of the Mackenzie Shirilla case that she does because just wow. That's all I have to say. If you guys would like to follow me further, you can hit like and subscribe on this video. It helps so much to boost the algorithm and tell me that you guys like this kind of stuff. If you want to check me out on my main channel, it's just Kiki Holofang, and I am Kiki Holofang everywhere else. Kiki Holofang. I know that I say that kind of fast. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, like my normal main channel, and Kick. I do stream Wednesday to Friday at 5 p.m. MST, and then Saturdays start at 12. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Hope to see you over on any of my other channels if you're interested at all. And I will see y'all soon. Remember guys, dare to climb, but don't be afraid to fall. And I'll see you when the blood moon rises.